Hey, this is Josie Santi from the Every Girl podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dressed season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe, discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy, too, with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid all in one place.
Love that. Now let's talk services, because Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place.
Yeah, that's so good.
Don't leave that place. Stay there.
Oh, Dave, little suggestion. Let's do this ad read without any sort of fumbles or anything. Let's just nail it.
Copy that.
Okay, I'm not editing this. This is going out live, basically.
Here we go. So from consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website design to attract clients and grow your business. You get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices.
That was on purpose, wasn't
But they
it?
are on board. You know, you're on board with them.
I'm on board with them.
Yeah, I'm on board. And you get online payments, plus streamline your workflow with built-in appointments, scheduling, depending on how you say that, and email marketing tools.
Hey, and with Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a bespoke online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business. Start with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps, using basic information about your industry, goals, and personality to generate premium quality content and personalized design recommendations. Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates.
Love that. It's easy and intuitive. No experience is required, and you can head to squarespace.com/do-go-on for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/do-go-on.
Let's do it, Dave. Is it time?
Yeah.
I reckon it's time for us to re-zhuzh up our website.
On 3. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Matt Stewart. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Dave. So good to be here. Quick question for you. How good is it to be alive?
Well, let's pose that question not to me, but to our special guest this week. Please welcome Raywyn Pickering.
Oh,
hello.
I'm so happy to be alive right now.
Thanks so much,
and with
Raywyn.
you too.
It was
This
interesting.
is beautiful.
Raywyn's filling in for
answer.
Raywyn's filling in for Jess, and
talking
like I
over
do
me
to
already.
Jess, as a feminist, I
Okay,
like to
great.
create space. Well, before women can take up space, it needs to be created, and that's what I do by
and so
talking
you,
over.
Yeah. Take over my space.
I was just going to say, interesting that Dave refused to answer that question.
What's going on, Dave?
Yeah, everything all right?
I never answer that question.
You never
feeling
answer that
great?
question.
That's not true. I think I do. It's good. It's good. This is episode 499.
Oh,
Whoa.
it's the
We are
last of the Old Testament, so to speak.
We are so close to 500.
I think people one day
yeah.
there'll be 2 tablets.
Is it the King James next year?
Yeah,
next week.
Next week we start the King James era. It's going to be, a friendly God starts next week.
Oh, yeah.
Dave plays God.
Looking forward to,
Famously.
yeah, throwing off the shackles, throwing off the robe, just being a nice guy.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think it'd be really nice.
Yeah, less of the fear
Yeah,
that you command.
Hey, fear's still good though.
Yeah.
Still be scared.
Respectful fear.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good to have you on, Raywyn. First time on the show.
At first time on Do Go On, but long time listener. Oh my God. I've loved you guys since
Moses came down from the mountains, handed out the 2 tablet.
No, I've
Stone
got
podcast.
my definite favourite apps, the Burke and Wills, obviously. A classic.
that goes
everyone
way
talks
back.
about it.
Yeah. Never split the party.
No, I love Dugon.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
You've been
So
on
excited to be here.
other podcasts in the network, Primates and
Yes,
Who Knew It.
Who Knew
Been
It.
on Book Cheat?
No.
You'll have to compete
I
the
famously
quadrilogy
don't
now.
read.
Yeah,
Well, that
Cannot
perfect. It's
read.
perfect for you.
Raywin, that's what that show's all about. Dave reads the books so we don't have to.
I don't have a single reader listener.
Beautiful.
Hey, I
Works
read
out
with
well.
my ears. Always have. Even before audiobooks, which I was around for. Anyway, this is a great opportunity to hear how a listener would describe this show. Raywin, for new listeners, how would you explain how this show works?
This is 3 friends getting together and discussing some new event that they've learned.
And that new
That
event
one
could be an
person
old
has
event.
learned.
Yes.
Not even specifically events.
I think that covers it, though.
Person,
Yeah.
place, or thing.
Yeah. I think a thing that's happened or, that's even not vague enough. Because you're right, but it can be people. But a people can be a thing.
People have happened.
Yes. Somehow, Raywin, you've described it more succinctly than I think we have in quite some time.
It's many, many hundred episodes.
This week, I'm doing the report. And, so I've been learning about a topic. And we always get on a topic with a question. Raywin, are you ready?
Okay.
Dave,
Yep.
you ready? Unfortunately for you, Raywin, this is playing into Dave's strong suit. Where are you on geography and
Geography.
world capitals?
Not great.
Okay. You're more of a farm-based comedian.
Yeah.
Okay.
More if it was Australian rural geography.
Yes.
I'd be stuffed, actually. I
I
would be
still
stuffed.
actually probably wouldn't be good.
So, yes, I before we knew you were on the show today, I'd already picked the
You
topic.
locked it in.
Otherwise, I certainly
Okay.
would have done alpacas or,
Yeah.
the wool industry, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question this week is, what is the capital of Algeria? Dave, I think we should give Raywin first crack here.
Okay.
Oh no.
First crack.
I don't know. Algeria.
You're so close.
Is it?
You are so close.
Actually, I cannot. I actually would have said Algeria was a city. So
I mean, it's so...
Algiers.
Yes!
Algiers. Algiers.
Dave, I don't know the pronunciation.
Alcatraz.
I would say Algiers.
Algiers. I think that's pretty much...
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I've actually, as I talked myself into it because I was like,
Yeah.
I've actually think I've seen that written down. Is it ALGERS?
IERS, is that right?
ERs and IEs are tricky.
Yes.
I literally had to, friend, the I and the E and that still stuffs me up. I have to see it before I know which one's right.
Oh, right.
And yes,
So
that's because I don't have a lot of
okay.
them and I don't have to use the word very often.
it's a foreign concept.
Yeah.
So, yes, Algiers, that is, it's partially where this story takes place. Very partially, to be
Whoa.
honest.
Oh, right. I was excited for that because I don't know if
Wow.
we've covered many Algerian topics.
Yeah, really, to be honest, this is more of a continental European topic, but...
So can you, or Dave, actually just tell me where Algeria is?
Can I have a guess?
What's the...
You've been looking it up.
What countries is
It's
it
in
like next to?
It's like Northeast Africa? Is that
It's
right?
like what's sort of
Oh.
north. No, it's very northern Africa.
Right.
Okay.
Like it's up there on the Mediterranean.
Near
and it's-
Egypt?
Yeah, so I think it goes Egypt and then possibly Libya, then Algeria. Is that right? And they also and it's very big.
It's in that.
And it
Oh,
goes
okay.
all the way down, and they share a border with
Oh,
Morocco.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
So it is
Right
not...
out west.
It is more
Not where you
northwest,
thought.
if anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's split-
actually also, what's the other one that's there? Yeah, Libya.
It's split between Morocco. Oh, shares borders with Morocco.
And Tunisia as well?
Yeah.
Libya, Niger, Mali, Mauritania, and Western Sahara. Is Western Sahara
It's
a
a
country?
disputed territory,
Right.
yeah. And I think that so Algeria and Morocco do not get along. When I went to Morocco, they're like, you can't actually cross the border from Morocco to Algeria.
Oh, really?
It's closed.
Wow.
And they do not get along.
Whoa.
I think they both have claims over Western Sahara.
Right.
Ah.
Okay.
They're not friendly there to each other. to each other anyway. So, yeah.
They were lovely to you.
They were so, honestly, very lovely people.
Man, I'm bad with
Right.
geography. Looking at this,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I would not have
because I was
guessed there.
picturing like Italy and stuff shifted way to the east from where it is. Like Sicily is almost touching,
Touching North
Tunisia.
Africa. Yeah.
But I thought it was almost touching more east and north. That's why I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun podcasting, AJ. Tidy that up, please, mate.
Wow, your geography's great.
Yeah,
Did you just look at
Dave's a
Not
whiz.
too
Yeah,
bad.
wow.
African geography is pretty good.
Okay.
But, yeah. Europe actually is, there's so many tiny countries there that it gets a bit confusing around parts. But, yeah, Africa's pretty good.
Wow.
All right, so yes, today I'm talking about the 1905 Algiers to Toulon boat race. Am I saying Toulon right? It's a
Oh.
French city.
Toulon.
Toulon.
And it's a boat race.
Yes,
That's actually so exciting.
Yeah.
We love a race here at Dougal.
Wow.
it is. But
I hope it's not Toulon.
we'll keep it just right. Just right. Yeah, I have not looked up any pronunciations, but there are a lot of French words.
Okay.
And yeah, because the main character in our story today or tonight, depending on when you're listening, is
Not in the
Camille
morning.
du Gast.
Okay.
She was like a pioneer of a bunch of things. Like she was a real trailblazer for women of the time. And yes, so
So it's Camille.
Camille.
Okay,
Did you say
Camille-
Camille the ghost?
Camille du Gast.
Du-
D-U spacebar G-A-S-T.
Oh, great.
Du Gast.
The ghost.
How would you say that?
The
Du Gast.
The Gast.
Du Gast. Doug.
So that's how they say it out on the farm.
on the farm.
Camille du Gast. Oh, here we go.
Here comes Cammy.
All
All right.
right, here we go.
You know how to reverse a trailer, love?
Yeah, Cammy, too big for her bloody boots. So, this was suggested, the race in particular was suggested by Oz Tilson from Kelowna and Braden M. Burke from Connecticut. Now, Braden actually wrote into our Fat Quote or Questions section a while ago saying he got inspired by this throwaway line I said in my New York to Paris motor race episode, where I talked about a disastrous Algiers to Toulon motor race, and he ended up doing a deep dive on it. Funnily enough, I looked back, and I actually was mentioned a different race.
Oh.
No.
I
There's
talked,
a different Algiers for too long.
the one that I talked about was one from Marseille to Algiers, like
Whoa.
almost the same but in reverse. Like Marseille and Toulon are close-ish, but I couldn't find. Like, it was a throwaway line from a Smithsonian article that I was reading about one of the characters in that episode
Right.
had organised this race. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. That's by the by. Braden has done a ton of research onto it, including translating French articles, which is where
wow.
most of the information came on. So I'm gonna quote from Braden a bunch, but he is legit. He's a graduate assistant in the Department of Anthropology at the University of Connecticut.
Okay. So he
So-
knows.
Holy shit.
He
So
knows
it's
what's
okay.
happening here.
So I think what we're doing between us, me and Braden, are creating the definitive, tome on
Who are you murdering?
on this event. This will be the one that now becomes the one that's quoted the most.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think.
right. You are the new Smithsonian article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Braden together.
Yeah.
Co-authors.
And of
Yeah.
course,
You can win the Nobel Prize for Literature together.
like whenever I quote,
Between you have a degree.
yes, whenever I do have a degree.
Do
Actually,
you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, mate. And I use it every day.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's still, honestly, still in the tube that came in. I didn't go to the ceremony; it got mailed to me. I've never taken it.
you
out
never
of the tube.
unwrapped. Have you even checked
you
it's
didn't
in
even
there?
frame it? Yeah, what if it's dust?
What would you do with it? What if it's probably. I couldn't tell you where it is if I do still have it or not. But I do respect it, and I think it was a very worthwhile endeavor.
Worth those tens
what-
of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it cost a fortune, but it was. It definitely was worthwhile. Anyway,
Good to get the tube.
but I'm gonna.
It's an expensive tube.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I mean, it's just a piece of paper. What the experience that was where the value was.
It's led you to where you are now.
Exactly right.
Basically an associate for the University of Connecticut.
Yeah.
So it's a researcher.
major in criminology.
an assistant to
Raywin,
the
so-
university. Anthropology department.
Yeah. You probably noticed me using my criminology brain a fair bit around the place.
Oh, yeah.
You got to watch what you say around this guy,
the time.
honestly.
Criminology is not like,
He's
I'm not
constantly,
CSI or
he's
something.
constantly fingerprinting
Yeah,
me.
you are dusting.
Yeah, he's
the
turning,
things.
he insists on doing this podcast with the black light on. It's really weird.
That's
Yeah.
not what criminology
It's really weird.
is.
Mate, I
But,
will not give you a blood sample. I'm sorry.
so
Constantly asking for DNA.
Oh, he's always
That's
listening to
rude.
always listening to the Who. It's really weird.
taking my sunglasses off,
taking it, yeah.
putting them on.
And then walking away, we're like, mate, come
Why are you
back.
always in a swamp?
I love a sassy line though. That is true. Anyway, so Braden Burke, I'm just going to, obviously you don't do first names. If I'm quoting from an academic, I'll use surnames. So I'll refer to him as
yeah.
Burke from now on,
Mhm.
which I think Burke is so good. Is that you grew up in Queensland. Was Burke a name for, I remember my parents were like talking about Burks, the Burks up the road. Like meaning like
Oh,
the,
bloody Burke. Yeah,
these
like
look-
you're an idiot. Yeah.
Oh,
these
no.
clowns.
Bit
These
of a-
bloody Burks.
Bit of a Burke.
No.
Yeah, it's not
Nah.
really
It
commonly used
wasn't
anymore.
common. Yeah. No.
Might have been a Victorian one.
Yeah. I mean, no.
Did you
It
use
wasn't
Wally?
in reference to surname. So I remember like my parents saying it's as busy as Burke Street out there.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
this is like the
That's
main
true.
street of my like population of 10,000 down.
Burke Street was your main street?
No.
No, okay.
That's a saying.
No,
You
I know
don't
it's
that's
a
a
no,
saying?
I know it's a saying that makes
Even
sense
my
here
parents
because
had that as a saying. I was
Yeah,
like, it's
no.
as busy as Burke Street.
I
down
just
there.
thought maybe it was like it worked up there as well. And you're like, I don't really get it because
Yeah,
it's not
because
that.
it is as busy as the name of this
Yeah.
street.
Up there it means the opposite. It's
Yeah.
really quiet. It's as busy as Burke Street.
Ugh,
Ghost
no
town.
one around.
All right, so before getting into the race, I'm going to give you a chunk of info. Really, the star of this report is Camille du Gast.
The Gast.
Du Gast. And she was actually suggested as a topic by Beth Harvey from Scotland. So you're getting a bit of a twofer today, Raywin.
Great.
Making up for lost time.
Great. Scotland and Connecticut together
Yeah.
at last.
Yeah, connecting it together.
Yeah.
So Camille du Gast was born in either 1868 or 69 and was born into a wealthy family in Paris, France, or Paris. Because I know we're going to get a lot of
Okay.
French listeners in, so they'll be like, Paris, what's that?
Where is that?
Oui, Paris.
It is good to translate.
Yeah. Something that comes up in most accounts of her early life is that she was seen as a tomboy, but as Burke writes, her tomboyish tendencies do not appear to have been something her family cared much about squashing, as her liberal upbringing is often stated as a foundational factor in her activities later in life. Coming from a wealthy and somewhat progressive family meant that she had many opportunities that other women of her time did not, due to lack of funds or just old school sexism.
All right.
While domestic life was the fate of most of her contemporaries, du Gast had her mindset on a higher octane lifestyle.
Whoa.
Mechanical, being a maid.
Yeah.
Basically,
Wow.
using the turbo to clean a house real quick.
Yeah.
So we're talking about.
Turbo vacuum. She's really
All
Tim,
her
Tim
friends
the
are just
Toolman
dusting.
Taylor.
Yeah.
I can dust this place in 38 seconds.
She's been quoted as saying something along the lines of, life was just too boring for women at the time, and she was going to have none of that. She was going
Well,
to
easy
push
there.
the
She's got all
boundaries.
this money.
Yeah,
We're out there slaving away. We don't have that.
that's true.
Must be nice to go fast.
The topic suggested Beth lists some of her pursuits, which we'll talk about briefly, and does include motor racing, being a motor racing pioneer, but also hot air balloonist, parachute jumper, fencer, tobogganist, skier, and shooter. Some of
Wow.
these she was like at the forefront of as well.
Oh. I
But-
thought hot air balloons really don't go very fast.
Oh, high octane.
Like-
yeah,
I thought they really famously go very slow,
Oh,
and
you
it's
drop-
quite a relaxing ride.
You drop a few sand bags. Ooh, you'll
Oh,
go. It doesn't look like it,
look
but you're
at you
going up.
slowly rise.
but back then, no one's rising at all, so that
Yeah.
seems
That's
fast.
true.
And
Yeah.
it's sort of like anything that is, it's dangerous because they haven't really figured things out.
Yeah, that's right. She's at the forefront.
When's ballooning come in. Dave knows a lot about ballooning.
Wow.
It's a French thing. What's the Montgolfier
Balloon?
brothers? What's that? I'd guess 1860s. That's a guess.
1783.
Exactly what I said.
100 years different.
Well,
Dave.
hey, when you're rounding up to 100
That
there.
was.
But you're right, the Montgolfier brothers. Joseph Michel and Jacques Etienne.
Beautiful.
Is that right?
Beautiful. Etienne?
Oui. So Burke writes that while specific details of her formal education remain sparse in historical records, it is evident that she received education in the arts, becoming an accomplished concert pianist and singing alongside her sporting endeavours. She was just like one of those, do a bit of everything.
Arty.
The 1881 census lists 3 live-in tutors, which is obviously a
my
money
gosh.
thing.
So live-in teachers.
3 of them.
That's crazy. How
Once-
big
Oh
does
my
your house have to be
Yeah.
to have 3 rooms for
They each
teachers?
have a wing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And they all specialize in different things. One in mathematics, one in equestrianism, and one in musical theory. So,
Wow.
yeah, she was just sort of brought up to be
I mean,
a...
surely they could just live down the street and come in for their 2-hour session a day
Yeah.
and then go to live. They have to live in the house. In
Well,
case
Call it any time.
she's got a musical question.
I'm
Sorry, 2 by 2? What was that again?
She's on horseback. Oh, sorry.
Playing violin on horseback. So, yeah, it sounds like her parents only started to worry about what they described as her, quote, masculine proclivities when she started risking injury to
Doing
herself.
maths like a
Oh
boy.
my God. Jeez, what a lot of 1,000 blossom bloom.
But I'm gonna... What does he say?
I ain't spending any more time on it.
I ain't spending any more time on it. Because every day... Is it every day? It's not
Yeah.
every day. A man is torn apart by a crocodile in far north Queensland. It's the best. But yeah, so there's one incident on record when she was 14 where she climbed the family's mansion's 25-meter facade,
Whoa.
which is pretty high.
That's very high facade.
Yeah, imagine a 25-meter tall house.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty good. But she climbed it like out.
That's nearly 3 stories, right?
Whoa.
How many stories?
That's more, isn't
Is
it?
it?
25 meters, did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, normal ceiling is like now is, oh, that's true. It depends on the ceiling. But in Australia, there has to be at least 2.4 meters. But back then, the ceilings would have been higher.
Look at you knowing
So maybe
how
it's
high.
like 3.
At least 2.4.
Well, I used to work in air conditioning. We have to know about stuff like this.
Did you ever
And a
use
tape measure all the time.
Did you do the thing with the tape measure where you put it on the ground and then sort of
Yeah.
like push it up against the wall? First time I saw someone do that, I was
No.
like, that is so impressive.
You barred right up.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to need a minute.
That tape measure is not the only thing rigid around here.
Whoa.
Burke writes this incident, her scaling that 25-meter facade. But you're right, it could be 3 stories if they're like, 8-meter
Huge.
type
Yeah,
ceiling.
probably.
Yeah.
If they've got 8 ballrooms or 3
Yeah.
ballrooms stacked on top of each other.
Which,
Yeah.
I kind of wouldn't be surprised picturing like French mansions of the 1800s.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
did have ridiculous
I'm
high
imagining
ceilings.
Yeah.
where Madeline lives.
Oui.
Yes.
You know,
We love
Chateau.
our
Oh,
bread.
yeah.
We
I'm
love our
sure
butter.
there was at least 12 orphans in
Yeah.
in that facade.
Live in orphans?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got living orphans here. Pretty good. Burke writes of the incident saying it was documented in a police report and it resulted in her confinement to the Chateau de Vaux-les-Pénils estate, where gamekeeper logs show she practiced daily pistol shooting. And apparently over the next few years, she got really good at it. At 50 meters range, by the age of 17, she was achieving 93% accuracy.
Whoa.
It's a bit of a dead-eyed
That's pretty
dick,
good.
so to speak. Is that
Oh, yeah.
Is that a saying?
Is that how you say it?
They say that's what they call sharpshooting footballers kicking
A
for
dead-eye
goal.
dick.
They're a dead-eyed dick.
I've never heard that before.
It's a real dead-eyed dick. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
Dead-eye dick. But like, is there a famous dead-eye dick that they're referring to in the footy world?
Is there a
I don't know.
famously
Famously dead-eyed.
dead-eyed dick? Or a lazy-eyed dick?
It's the origin of the name Dead-Eyed Dick is not clearly established, but at least one person who answered to the name was a Chicago man who was a safecracker and robber.
Who answered to the name? I love it. Hey, dead-eyed dick. One guy turned around.
Yeah?
Huh?
So it sounds like it's an old American term, I think.
Ah,
There you go.
wow. I've never heard of it, but that's great that she was.
And do you think it applies in this case? She's a good shot?
Yeah.
That's a dead-eye dick.
She's a dead-eye dick, I think.
Oh.
Ray, when I'm as old as the wind, you got to remember. So I know a lot more stuff.
I mean, I'm looking at your face.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need to remind me how old you are.
Yeah. One more gust of wind and this whole facade falls apart. Of her musical exploits, Burke writes, Conservatoire de Paris archives confirm her 1886 admission to Louis Diermer's piano masterclass, where she premiered Cécile Chaminet's Le Sylvains at the Seul Oeuvre in 1889. The surviving program notes her performance wearing a revolutionary split skirt design that allowed pedal work without compromising modesty.
Oh.
Pretty good. Society columns of the time describe her vocal debut as a Rothschild salon performing Gounod's Ave Maria with an impressive 3-octave range.
So do you say that some of these articles were translated to English? Or? It doesn't feel like a lot of them were.
Yeah, I feel like if I have a crack at like maybe 100 French words and names this episode, I'll stumble on one of them.
Yeah.
And I know we got some French listeners and French-speaking listeners. Can you let me know if I nail one word?
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know.
I mean, it's not 93% accuracy.
Yeah.
I don't think we can all.
no Dead-eye.
Dead-eye dick here.
Dead-eye franc.
Dead-eye dick.
Dead-eye dick. Man, you remember that? There was like a production company at the end of some shows.
Yeah.
It's like, Deek. Man, that got a laugh in our house.
Oh, didn't know that.
Deek.
That and Sit Ubu Sit.
Yeah, good dog. That's a classic. Burke continues, this combination of artistic and athletic prowess was highly unusual for women of her time and social class who were generally steered towards softer and more domestic pursuits.
Vacuuming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was at the forefront of cleaning back then. You know, these are dangerous vacuums to use.
Oh,
It
yeah.
worked out the technology.
Yeah,
yet.
they
You're
were.
risking your
No.
life every time you turn it
No.
on.
It
They were
was-
built with asbestos and they were coal powered. We had to shovel
to
coal
shovel
into the
it
back
in.
of them. That's why the asbestos was so good. It usually kept the flames from the user.
Usually.
Usually. Obviously, sometimes
know.
the seal.
A couple got through.
Right? Yeah, you know. But that's all right. That's good stuff. As she grew up physically, Camille developed, this is still Burke's academic words here. As she grew up physically, Camille developed into a striking woman, described by contemporaries as, quote, the most beautiful woman in Paris.
Whoa, they sound angry about it.
Green-eyed and fair-haired with a shapely corseted figure, complemented by a vibrant personality featuring a, quote, wicked sense of humour and irresistible smile.
Whoa.
And, you know, like, beauty standards, everything change, of course. And I don't think, you know, she just looks like a normal
that
person from the
corset.
olden days.
My gosh.
Yeah.
But
That's not comfortable.
And sometimes I'm also like, how much of this writing is because they're rich and
Yeah, exactly.
you sort of pay the people to be more favourable? Or is that was what a beautiful person looked like back then? I just don't think anyone was attractive back then.
Well, you would know.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It was a much more level playing field, though, back then, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was a great time for me. Because people thought I was hot back then.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of anyone was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The standards were really low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone described anyone back then,
Yeah.
that's what I found on this show. Like, when I always look at the photos, it's like, he was so handsome, he'd stop any saloon dead in its tracks. And you look him up, you're like, this guy?
Really?
This balding guy?
Yeah.
Man, it must have been
We
some
just
sort
don't
of
describe anyone with
charisma
that
or
kind
whatever.
of like
Yeah.
beauty anymore, do we?
No.
Because it's not their value these days. Back
Yeah,
then, that's
back
all they
then,
cared
very shallow.
about. Yes. But
Which is ironic because they
Okay.
were so ugly.
Oh my God. If someone from back then was alive now, they'd die of how attractive people are now.
Yes.
It'd kill them.
I'm sure it's not standards changing and stuff like that.
No.
No, we
Hot
are
as
not.
hot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, hot is hot. Bad is
Yeah.
bad, as Huey Lewis said.
What a poet. Yeah, but that Raven has
yeah.
pointed out that corset does look extremely
It looks
uncomfortable.
so uncomfortable.
Yeah, like it's sort of contorting her body into.
Yeah.
No,
And that
I
was
think
the
she's
first thing I
naturally
saw.
like a 120 figure. I don't know what the numbers are meant to be, but that's pretty dramatic.
Okay.
Is it not?
Sounds pretty consistent to me.
Yeah.
You both
Sounds like a square.
you're two of the same number.
No, you didn't hear the 3. That's the way.
Oh.
123, 120.
All right. It sounds like you're saying 123.
Yeah.
You're saying 120, comma, 3,
Three.
comma,
Well,
120.
I mean, I'll accept that from the listeners, but you're watching me go 123, 120. How are you not?
move very fast, though.
123. 120.
120.
AJ, edit that out, please.
Well, actually, you could just edit in some pauses so we'd know what you're saying.
Yeah.
120.
You know, when,
Add in some commas.
when everyone misunderstands and you're still going, no, I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm communicating very well.
Listen.
Listen, again, okay. 123, 120, 123, 120. Anyway, okay. That makes more sense that you didn't know what I was talking about now that I realise you guys are a bit slow.
Yeah. Please just slow it down for us, particularly when you're speaking French.
At the age of 22, she hooked up with a fella named Jules Crespin, which is, I think, a fantastic name.
Wow.
Jules Crespin.
Beautiful.
Sources disagree as to whether they were married at that point or lived in sin for the following 4 years before marrying. But either way, they did end up getting married.
How do you disagree? Like, well, I wasn't invited, so
What?
they surely didn't get married.
I think
I would have known
I
about
would
it.
have known. I would have
historians
got
are
them
like,
a toaster.
yeah, I think I would have been invited to the wedding.
I would know.
Yeah, I can't find the paperwork, which I mean invitation.
And then other people are like, well, I definitely gave him a toaster, so
Yeah.
why did I do that?
Look, I've got a
I
photo
thought-
of me here. Here's me at the box party. So, yeah, well, obviously
I really thought.
they did that way ahead. They weren't married for 4 or 5 years. Anyway, so that's only vaguely
People
relevant
aren't sure.
because
Okay.
later, a little call ahead, but that
Well,
might be
Call
relevant.
forward.
Yeah. Anyway, either way, Burke writes that it is notable that throughout her marriage and subsequent sporting career, Camille insisted on using her maiden name rather than her husband's, despite the conventions of the time. Burke continues, this deliberate choice stemmed from her desire to avoid any suggestion that her daring exploits were merely publicity stunts designed to promote her husband's department store business. Like, I'm doing this for the
Yeah. This is
for the thrill,
for
not
Harvey
for the
Norman.
Wow. And he's there being
I'm
like,
riding this hot air balloon as fast as I can to sell a couch.
I'm the David Jones Daredevil, and
yeah, the husband's probably like, it'd be great if you did do it for the family business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
why not both?
honestly, just
Yeah, you're doing it anyway. Just
throw it in. It's
wear
a conversation.
Wear a staff t-shirt or something. You're doing it.
Where are lanyards?
Yeah.
you get the
Please.
5% discount. Earn it.
It's worth it.
So Crespin was a wealthy department store heir who served as manager and major shareholder of Dufayel, one of Paris's largest retail establishments. Camille was evidently hands-on with the running of the store, as ledgers reveal her influence in introducing electric lighting systems and pneumatic cash carriers by 1892, boosting annual profits
She was
by
like
37%.
getting like robotic
go,
stuff
Camille.
happening then.
Yeah.
She
was
can do it
actually
all.
sort of supercharging everything.
Wow.
Hey, everything
incredible.
needs an engine.
Yeah,
Cash registers, engine, on wheels.
yeah.
Put a
I reckon
motor in it.
We gotta check out the donk under this cash register.
Hey, how many cylinders?
the hood,
How many
mate.
cylinders that cash register? Oh my god!
There's your change. The receipt's just spitting out so quick.
Coins flying out and injuring people.
It's just rolling around the floor in a Segway. Like, hello, can I help you? No.
The department store is just full of smoke. You can't see across the aisle.
Oh, don't breathe in. There's asbestos everywhere. Just watch out.
Crespin supported Camille's choices, even though, she was breaking gender norms at the time.
Whoa.
So in a lot of ways, I think he's the hero of this piece.
Yeah.
According to Burke,
Real feminist there.
he even shared in Camille's burgeoning passion for aeronautics. Crespin was a balloonist himself, and was often accompanied by Camille on expeditions, which would have been considered highly unusual for both men and women of the period.
Fun fact, hot air balloons, I believe, were debuted in about 1783.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. Okay,
not-
I would have guessed 1870.
Well, you'd be
Interesting.
wrong by almost 100 years.
Wow.
And you would look like a
What
fool.
a fool.
That's actually a number anagram of the year the St Kilda Football Club was formed in 1873. Fun fact.
No.
Is there a word for number anagram?
I reckon there must be.
There probably is. Anyway, Burke goes on. The couple's shared passion materialised through their own customised balloon, Le Sœur Blanc, whose 1893
I know.
flight.
Blanc. Isn't that white?
That's white.
Yeah.
And what is Le Sœur?
I understood your French, Matt. That must
what's
be
the
how
other
good
How
word?
do
it
you say that
is.
word? Oh, Dave does a bit of French.
Loiseau. Loiseau. I don't know.
Losse?
Le Sœur?
I'm not sure what that
Losso?
means, though. But it's capitalised.
The L apostrophe, what would that
Losso.
be? Is that like L'Oreal Paris?
Yeah, I
What
was
does that
going to
mean?
say L'Oreal.
Is that of
Blanc.
Of L'Oreal? Is that what that means?
Oh.
But yeah, so
It means bird.
white bird. There you go. The white bird.
Loiseau.
Is the
So
L,
what does
L-
the L, for L'Oreal, like the L
Maybe that means the?
apostrophe?
Oh, it's just the. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you're saying. Yeah, that's
It's a
just
white
Oh.
bird. But yeah, they flew the white bird in 1893, and flight documents show that it was a record-breaking 14-hour journey from Paris to Bremen in Germany. So they
14 hours?
14.
You could watch a few movies.
Yeah. and they were going
Fugitive?
fast.
For one.
What about Fugitive 2? For 2.
Oh, yeah. Up.
Up,
That'd be a great
That-
one in a hot
yeah.
air balloon.
yeah. That one's more relevant. Is there a hot
Yeah.
air balloon in The Fugitive?
No. But
Beautiful to see your brain
it
in
would
action.
just,
though.
yeah, it's beautiful to see me just give up and say no.
I like it. Burke continues. Camille's love of sports and daring was not bound to her husband, of course. Camille had already began establishing herself as a daring sportswoman by 1895, when she became the first woman to complete a parachute jump, leaping from a hot air balloon from the height of 2,000 feet.
Whoa.
Her parachute proudly displayed the logo of her husband's department store, Dufayel.
I wonder if he snuck that on.
And then Burke
She had no
says,
idea.
so much for not wanting to be associated with his store.
Oh, good one.
He goes on to say parachutes have been around in some form or another since the 1400s and likely go back much further, but they only became common in the early 1900s and 1910s as they were made more compact and easily worn on the back. In 1895, sadly, Crespin died of peritonitis at the age of 27. He was a member of the
no.
27 Club.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
One of the
wow.
one of the original members.
Yeah.
He packed a lot in.
Yeah.
Owned a department store.
Yeah, inherited one.
Went
I
in.
think.
Oh, okay.
I think a lot of
Wow.
it was sort of
Given to him.
the family.
Silver platter.
He was an heir.
All right.
He was an heir. No wonder he loved hot air ballooning.
Yeah.
And peritonitis. What's that one?
I looked it up. It was like redness
like
of the something.
But it's nothing to do with the Daredevil stuff caught up. With
No,
him.
I think
Just
it-
unfortunately got ill.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's just an infection in your stomach.
yeah, I think that's
Oh,
right. Yeah.
okay. That's
And
nice.
do you know that from animals?
Chickens get egg
Yeah.
yolk peritonitis.
Yeah.
That is the more you know.
So, yeah,
and
you know.
A redness and swelling or inflammation of the lining of your belly or abdomen. And it just depends. It can be, depending on what's causing it or whatever, I think it can be fatal or not. And whether it's treated, I guess.
Yeah.
Do they know what's causing it?
No, he's dead.
Oh, right.
Couldn't pass the egg.
But before before he died, they did pass an egg, so to speak. They had a daughter named Diane.
Oh, whoa.
Wow, and Diane hatched.
Crespin.
Yeah, Diane Crespin. Crespin's a real eggish sounding name as well. Don't you reckon? Crespin?
It doesn't have an E or a G or a G.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, Crespin obviously does have an E.
Got an E.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Crespin. It just sounds eggish to me, like a shell's crispy, I guess. Crespin. Don't think that would be a nice name for an egg?
Yeah, I
For an egg, a beautiful name for an
I call
egg.
my egg Crespin.
That's all I was saying.
For a boy egg or a girl egg.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I was saying.
Crespin.
Really well said as well.
Yep.
Crespin's death meant Camille inherited his fortune as well, and she's already got her own one that she inherited from her folks. As Burke writes, she was now managing a substantial business portfolio, including coal mines and textile factories, evidenced by her handwritten margin notes in board meeting papers. So she's there. She's active in the board meetings.
Oh, she's in the mine.
Yeah, I imagine. Just going, oh, yes. I know she's French, but in my head she talks like our queen, Elizabeth II. In my mind's the first.
But she's French.
I'm one of a growing number who don't acknowledge Elizabeth I. So our Elizabeth II is...
Now Elizabeth I.
Elizabeth I in
yeah.
your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And long may she reign.
Which is Elizabeth number 1 for you.
Yes.
The only one.
Yes, that's right. Just Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Queen Mother, not even worth mentioning.
I mean, she gave us Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So,
so
I'll thank her for that.
Is the Queen Mother Elizabeth II or Elizabeth III, though?
Queen Mother? No. She did, yeah.
She's.
There's only one.
Okay.
There can be only one. I haven't seen that movie series, but I assume it's about Elizabeth. But it's about Sean Connery or something? No. Is there a movie series about there can be only one? Or am I thinking of Lord of the Rings?
I think of Lord of the Rings, I believe.
Okay.
Which Sean Connery famously turned down.
Yeah.
Play Dumbledore.
Hunt for Red October? Submarines.
There
can only be one submarine.
Lizzie was famously...
The hot air balloons of the ocean. Bit of work for Age Editor this week.
I'd love to know how your mind works.
People reckon that
beautiful to see.
You are better than most at
deciphering.
Yeah.
What's in your head?
Even you were able to access deciphering for me there. That is the word that I was reaching for.
Okay, podcast editor AJ here. I can also decipher Matt. He is most likely referring to the film Highlander, which does feature Sean Connery and the line, "There can be only one," but Sean Connery doesn't say it. On top of this, neither Queen Elizabeth is mentioned in any of the films in the series, though it does take place technically during the first Elizabeth's reign. Raywin is also right about Sean Connery being in The Hunt for Red October, which, by sheer coincidence, is a film I watched 2 days ago, and I'm going to be discussing it on my podcast called Poption next week, if you want to tune into
anyway, her husband's dead.
Okay.
That's sad.
Dead at 27.
But she's extremely rich now. She was already very rich. Now she's like
now
phenomenally
she's inherited
rich.
everything.
Two fortunes together.
And all these more extra responsibilities and that sort of stuff. Did that slow her down in terms of her need for speed? No, it did not.
Whoa.
Second engine. Put it in the car.
Her need for speed, thrills, and spills, if anything, it got even bigger.
Whoa.
Wow. Her hunger grew.
Whoa.
And she fed that hunger with petrol. Cool. Cool.
It is great to see your mind work.
As Burke writes, following her husband's sudden death, Camille embarked on increasingly ambitious adventures that would have been considered extraordinary even for men of her time.
Even for men.
I don't know if you can even imagine that.
Wow.
Between 1895 and 1901, she travelled extensively, taking up mountaineering and notably crossing Morocco on horseback, often travelling alone through potentially volatile regions. Throughout this period, Camille continued to develop her skills in an astonishingly diverse range of sports and activities. She became an accomplished fencer, skier, rifle and pistol shooter, and horse trainer while maintaining her artistic pursuits as a concert pianist and singer.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's hard to lug a full grand piano on horseback across the Moroccan desert, but
she had a baby grand.
She invented the baby grand.
She honestly was
travel size
hogging it, wasn't she? Like skills and pursuits.
Yeah, it makes you feel
Sounds
really.
Like a lot of them, though, to be fair, were just self-defense.
Yeah,
there was a lot of shooting and fencing. Like, I want to know how to look after myself.
Yes,
I think that makes a lot of sense. Get away in a hot air balloon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all of it.
She was holding her keys between her hands for sure. You got her through Morocco, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Between her hands.
Between her hands.
Is that what you meant? Where else would you hold
between
your keys,
her thumbs.
I wouldn't want to mess with this woman.
That's no.
She sounds like a real badass.
Yeah. And she would have had the baby on her back.
Oh, just strapped to the back.
Just strap it on.
The baby doesn't come up a lot.
Okay.
I get the feeling that maybe the baby was at home.
Okay.
Maybe in its own wing.
Probably had 3 babysitters, live in, look
Live in.
after. So
Yeah.
she was doing fine.
The baby grows up. And their relationship's not so good. We'll mention that a bit later. But
okay.
yeah, Burke was like, really couldn't find much out about Diane growing up and stuff. Like,
Just
while the
kinda-
mum's gallivanting, the dad's dead.
was a real-
Obviously real deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
Hold
Then
the beat.
Diane, gosh,
Hey,
can't
what
get
am
her
I
out of the
ordering here?
house.
It's like I'm ordering a salad or something. Hold the beat. Deadbeat, hold the...
You don't like beetroot? What's wrong with you?
No, I really love beetroot, actually.
Oh.
Hold the beat
Too
and then
much.
put it in my mouth.
Now hold as I take
Yeah.
bites.
My hands are holding something else.
My hands are holding a pair of keys between fingers.
Dave's like you always say, can't beat a root, mate. You always say that.
What's that?
Man, I love beetroot.
Can't beat a root around a bush. So sorry.
It would be so inappropriate for you to apologise for any dog shit riff because apart from anything, that's a big part of what the show is.
That's the show.
And you were also looking at me. Have you heard what the shit that's fallen out of my mouth
You
so far
apologise to
today?
this guy?
No one apologises
yeah,
to
I
me.
Get some
Ray,
self-respect.
believe in yourself.
Oh my god. This is making me rethink all of my.
Is it when you said
to
holding
build
your keys
myself
between your
up.
hands and I was an asshole and not
I
understanding
really
clearly
need to
what
just
you meant?
Look more at Dave. He's
thumbs up right
way
here.
more
It's really-
supportive
it's
of
really-
women. I don't know.
I don't know. Look into those big blue eyes of his as well. You'll get
Oh,
lost in
there
there.
we go. Below the rims. No, above the rims.
Hey,
Never below.
whatever gets you through the craziness that is sitting next to Matt Stewart.
Back to Burke. In 1898, Camille expanded her sporting repertoire by learning to drive, which is obviously it's quite a new thing.
Yeah, wow.
Becoming only the second French woman to receive her driver's license, the first being Anne de Rochemouret de Montama, Duchess of Uzes, who was also the first woman in Paris to get a speeding ticket.
Oh.
Makes
Same
sense.
day?
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, how quickly are they giving out speeding tickets? I would have thought
Wow.
that wouldn't have. And I
Surely-
actually do imagine that would have been years later, probably.
Yeah.
Camille dove headfirst into motorsport, acquiring both a.
Sounds painful.
She's wearing
Should've.
a helmet.
Burke might have left off the R there. Camille drove headfirst.
Nice.
Yeah, she got both a Panhard and a Peugeot automobile. How do you say Peugeot in a Frenchy sort of way?
Peugeot.
Peugeot.
But what's the
Yeah.
first brand? I don't
Panhard. Panhard.
know. I'm not sure that
No.
still exists.
And potentially she inherited those from her husband. It's unclear. This
Like the
decision,
cars or the full business, like she owns Peugeot.
yeah. This decision to embrace the new technology of automobiles would soon lead to her most significant sporting achievements and public recognition. France was at the center of the world's automaking industry in the early 1900s, making something like half of the world's cars at the time. I think in 1903,
Ah.
that were at I read somewhere 49%.
They made like
I
7
mean,
cars.
I say, yeah, exactly. I was thinking that was impressive. But surely there's not that many
They
cars
made
getting
49
around. Yeah.
cars. It was way easier to do
Yeah.
percentages back then.
Yeah, let's
we
keep-
make 100
let's
cars
cap
a
it
year.
100.
The
Yeah,
first woman kept crashing them.
yeah, none.
Go
none
do
survived.
fast. Come on.
So, yeah, it's unsurprising that France was also the center of the burgeoning motor racing scene. But while the industry was on her doorstep, it was still seen as the domain of men, and in particular, wealthy men,
Yeah.
fat cats. It was far too dangerous for little ladies.
Right, she's
Even the wealthy ladies.
Yeah.
yeah, she's 50% of it. She's wealthy at least. She's halfway there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the women.
Well, no, you have
With
to be a
driver's
wealthy
license.
man.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
She's wealthy.
So she's got the wealthy down.
She's also at one point half of the women in France who has a license.
yeah.
only 2
That's
of them.
what they were saying.
Yeah, she is halfway
So
there.
really,
to being
she's- yeah.
to being the sole surviving driver.
Burke writes, after watching the start of the 1900 Paris-Lyon race, Paris-Lyon, I should say, Paris-Lyon race, she became determined to participate in competitive motorsport herself. In June of 1901, she entered the prestigious Paris to Berlin Trail, organised by the Automobile Club de France, becoming the only female competitor in the main event. For this grueling international race, Camille drove a 20-horsepower Panhard Levasseur, a relatively standard road vehicle rather than a specialized racing vehicle. So she competed in the heavy car class for vehicles over 650 kegs, with the Duke of Sagan serving as her riding mechanic. It's so fun. It's like it's only rich people, so the ride-on mechanic's a Duke.
Yeah.
This entry
He's not getting his hands dirty. Like, no.
Get a new one. We get another. This entry into a major international motor race made her the second woman to compete at this level.
Oh, she's always second.
Wow.
She's a real Michael Chang of women
really
in motorsport.
kind of got to hurt.
But this really established her place as one of the earliest female racing drivers in history. A real pioneer of the sport.
A real Michel Mouton.
Oui. The first was likely either Baroness Helene van Zulin or Anne de Rochengout de Mortemat, Duchess of Uzes. That's according to Burke. In this first race,
Who translated it
Yeah.
for you?
yes, in the first race, he could have. I think he really translated so much and just fell
So
over that
well.
final hurdle.
Yeah.
And the Russian goat. What does D mean in
The
French?
Russian goat? Is that what you said?
Oh, thank
And
you.
do-
Well, Raywin's finishing
Yeah.
Burke's work there.
That's great. The Russian goat.
And the Russian goat.
The
The problem is
goat?
that title went so long I forgot who they were when you started. Who are they?
They were likely, it's lost to history, but one of those was likely the first woman car racer.
Aw, what? So she can't even be remembered.
It's interesting, isn't it?
You just got to remember one name, boys.
Boys.
Stuff it up.
Yeah, I guess it was all sort of seen as, obviously, people aren't writing blogs about everything back then, but it was,
It's probably also
Surely
multiple races too, right?
yeah,
around
no
Europe.
one's really tracking it. They're not like cars are really going to take off this next century. It would have been like, yeah, I'm going to write about the first game of frisbee golf. They almost definitely did. I bet you there's a lot of records about
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of lore.
And they're on a similar par of influence, aren't they? The invention of the motor vehicle and the invention of frisbee.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. At the time, it was seen
Yeah.
as this sort of frivolous thing, but, people didn't really see a big future in it. They didn't think it was going to take over the world.
I think there's yet to be a woman play frisbee golf as well.
That
Do you
spot is
reckon
vacant.
you'd like to step up?
I would not. It's for a wealthier woman than me.
Oh, yeah.
Can't afford it.
Millions of women have had opportunities and just gone, that looks silly. No thanks.
I don't want
Someone
to do
else
either
can do
frisbee
it.
or golf.
Yeah. Oh.
Dumb.
I played a bit of fun.
Did you?
Yeah, but like,
Rob Braslin,
Wow.
a Tassie comic. He's got his own. He's got his own discs. He
Whoa.
was up for a couple of months for work, and he goes, "Want to go throw a few?"
Hey,
I
Matt,
said,
let's chuck the
What are we
discus
talking
around.
about? But it was good fun. I mean, it's just like any of those things. It's mainly about the chat and just hanging out. Bit of a
Oh, yeah.
walk. It's fun.
Yeah.
I sucked at
It's
it though.
just how to get men through depression, really.
Yeah, you gotta have an activity.
Yeah. Then we can talk about things, how I'm feeling.
Oh, we did. I mean, we didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
and you felt worse afterwards because you were so bad at it.
Yeah. Luca Muller played as well, and he picked it up straight away.
Really?
Rob's already got, he's bringing his own discs around. I mean,
Wow.
he travelled with them, obviously, so.
Whoa, you can get them through the airport security.
Well, yeah, I
I'll
think.
just let them in.
Well, I imagine they would have had to have been stowed. You
Yeah.
they're not carry on.
You can't carry on a Metal One Xena Warrior Princess style.
Oh, no.
You could chop off the pilot's head with that thing.
Dangerous. Can't take nail scissors. Cannot take discs.
It's on the list of items. That's
Well,
great.
have
Do you
you-
have any of the following in your
Yeah.
luggage?
You've
Yes or
seen that
no?
clip with, I think it's like Ridge from Bold and the Beautiful or one of those
Ridge.
shows. And it's a clip of him in a movie, this low budget movie, where it's all about frisbee culture.
Yes.
And he switches the frisbees on point to one with blades all over and he chops the guy's head off by flinging it at him.
I have seen that.
Ridge.
Hey, you want to throw? It's a
He
great.
just decapitate someone.
Yeah.
Whoa.
When you assume your algorithm's everyone's algorithm.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
I've
getting
seen,
that.
I've seen that clip so many times.
I have seen it too. And I think
Really?
it might even be the original Ridge. The Ridgy Ridge.
The
Ridgy Ridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it got replaced.
Really?
Ridge 2.
Just like the flight center guy.
Origining.
Oh, I missed it. What happened to the original Flight Center guy?
I worked. I don't know if this is true, of course, but when I worked at the supermarket, a guy knew him. He was his neighbor or something, and he said that he thought he had Flight Center over a barrel, so he negotiated real hard, and they just replaced him instead.
Oh,
Would have sucked. You're like, no,
Yeah.
can we go back to that last offer again? I will accept it after all.
please.
Oh my God, 3 people have played Ridge.
What? I can only think of one Ridge.
Yeah, I think of the original Ron Moss, the Ridge.
Yeah, Ron Moss, yeah.
And then there's Lane Davies did it. Oh, maybe it says this is on the wiki page. Maybe just in 1992. Maybe
What's
just
wiki page?
this is the Bold and the Beautiful.
it's similar
have this
to Wiki
website.
Feet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's like a wiki for the rest of the body.
Yeah.
yeah. The rest of the body being
Wiki
bold
body.
and beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Wiki
now-
Ridge.
Oh,
Now he's played by Thorsten K.
his name is Thorsten?
Thorsten.
Thorsten K. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. I can't
No.
believe it. A third Ridge? It's a slippery slope from here. Anyway, so she's entered a race and she finished 33rd overall and 12th in the heavy
that's
car
not
category,
great.
maybe even 11th.
How many were
Records
in it,
weren't
though?
great. It's over 100, I think.
Oh, well,
that's
that's
great.
all right.
That's
yeah.
good. That's every car in Europe. Most people didn't realise they were part of a race. They were just driving to work.
Burke writes, Camille's racing career gained momentum between 1901 and 1904, during which she participated in several major races. Her participation was notable not only for breaking gender barriers, but for her approach to racing. She maintained traditional feminine dress standards even while engaging in these dangerous competitions.
Wow.
Reportedly even wearing a corset during some of
the corset.
the most perilous races of the time. I think I got a photo.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
wild.
It's funny, like,
Whoa.
it just looks like posh people going out for a picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a number on the side of the car as well.
Yeah. Wow. I remember, I think in one of your descriptions, you said that she notably wore a side split skirt. But so she's still just wearing, like, she's not even wearing pants.
Yeah,
She
isn't
hasn't-
amazing?
Wow.
Burke says this choice may have represented a strategic compromise, allowing her to challenge gender norms in one domain while maintaining certain expected standards of femininity. So she's like maybe she's just making a compromise. Look, I know you don't think I should race cars, but I'm not going to wear pants.
Yeah.
I won't go
not gonna go
silly.
crazy.
Yeah. Because that would make it.
My car's still going to be the tidiest car.
Yeah, so her career is really gaining momentum. She's sort of seen as a bit of a rising star, which is interesting in itself. You know, it's male dominated, but it seems like she's relatively accepted in the racing community, even if the broader society is like, what is she up to? What's she doing behind that wheel?
But these racing people were fine with it.
Seems like it. I mean,
Wow. Progressives in there.
yeah, that's
Or
what.
was it just she was incredibly rich? So
Yeah, and a babe. Pretty easy on the eye, apparently. Those green eyes, that
as
smile.
I've heard, 103 and 100.
What are the size, like those numbers? Am I vaguely right? 3s obviously was meant to be a comically small waist, but there used to be a thing of people would say like 72, 42, 72. That's also crazy, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
Classic
What's standard?
hourglass measurements.
how you
'Cause I
would
think-
always refer to people as their shoulder, their waist, their hips.
Nah. Oh, 36, 24, 36.
So 72 is quite wide.
100. Imagine 100, like a meter.
123. Because is it inches?
According to Hawaii
2.5 meters
Vein.
You
wide.
thought that was
No, that I
a
was.
beautiful woman.
Well,
Over a
What?
meter,
what your?
shoulder to shoulder.
It
You
was,
don't want to be able to hug this woman.
it was meant to be a comical exaggeration.
Yeah, comical. You sound like an idiot over there.
That was the
Your dream woman.
Oh my
it's insane.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Really unattainable. Why do you put women on a pedestal like that?
Very good.
They'll topple over otherwise. HawaiianVane.com says 36, 24, 36. So
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
vein. That's awful.
with an E as well. It's not the home of vanity in Hawaii. So I don't know what they do. It's the Vein and Skin Center of Hawaii.
Oh. Do they know what they're talking about?
It says for a true hourglass figure, the breasts and hips should be almost equal in circumference. The perfect
Almost
measurements
equal.
are often cited as 36, 24, 36. Petite women can have this curvaceous shape as well, but on a smaller scale. Yeah, it's funny that
Never a larger scale.
moment on the lips, ladies. Moment on the lips.
Soon you'll be 120 in the hips.
Yeah, this is like I can't. I think that was just an old fashioned. I'm thinking of like black and white movies here in Clark Gable saying that to Marilyn Monroe or some shit.
Wow.
But only not them. It would be people that you haven't heard of.
Right.
Midday
Clark Gable's
movie.
dad.
Clark Gable's dad.
Ridge.
Marilyn Monroe's auntie. So anyway, yes, her career's gaining momentum. Doing great. She's loving it. Having a good time.
So has she won anything yet, though?
Hasn't won anything.
No.
Oh,
but
unless
she's
you see as
she's into it.
competing.
She's
is winning.
competing, yeah. But still, she's only 33rd or something, you said.
Yeah.
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 So she's just having fun.
Yeah. And I know to you, second is just first loser. But
So she's 32nd loser.
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway, the French government had other ideas.
Uh-oh.
They put a stop to this. They banned women from competing in motorsports,
Oh,
Wow.
for motor racing.
Why?
Well, the reason,
Did
Raven,
everyone ask?
too dangerous.
Mm.
And as the feminist of the podcast, I have to agree with this decision. Women are just too valuable to risk
Yeah.
in such a frivolous pursuit. Leave
Oh,
that
yeah.
to the
To
men.
the men.
Disposable. it's such a strange thing. Too dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, the boys can do it.
Yeah. It's
but we've-
almost
this
as
is
if
a
there
long
was a
time
bit
ago.
of.
We've moved past that.
Yeah.
I heard like 5 years ago, I heard someone, I won't name them, an older person. They were like, I don't know about the AFLW. I'm just worried, women are built differently, the tackling and stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? They've taken, everyone's choosing to play.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to think, really, no one should be doing
Yeah,
it. No one really
exactly.
should
No.
do it. But, guys.
Or you'll hear,
We don't have to
you hear
tackle.
people talk about that, women boxers sometimes. Yeah, they shouldn't, but either should anyone.
Yeah, no one should
No one should be getting
really.
punched in the
Only
head
men.
No, yeah. Not
for our entertainment.
Only men should have CTE.
So, but they don't, not realizing that it's
Yeah.
you're so close to sort of getting a point, but it's a
Yeah.
weird thing you've come to.
We had to draw the line there.
Yeah. So while she wasn't able to race anymore, at least it
At
sounds
least no woman could.
yeah. But it sounds like she was able to go on a few of the lower profile ones, but the high profile big races that she was really into, they were the ones that it was clear you couldn't be in it.
Weird for the government too to step in. Surely the racing body could decide for themselves.
Seems
But no, it's the
weird,
Prime
yeah.
Minister. No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
How do you say no in French, Dave?
No.
No. No, no, no. So she wasn't able to race anymore, at least in the higher profile events, but she did earn a position as the first and apparently only woman official of the Automobile Club de France, demonstrating that despite the external disrespect coming from the government, inside the male-dominated industry, she was held in high regard, seemingly.
That's cool. Yeah, so they thought she was
Yeah.
good enough for the club.
Yeah.
Yeah. The individuals in the racing community sound nice. Honestly.
Yeah.
Not enough people are talking about them.
Yeah.
I think we're talking too much about this woman. And we need to be talking about the men
Who's in
involved.
this club? Who else in
Who
this
are
club?
the men around?
You make great points, Rowan. So she's not able to be involved in those high profile races, but she's got a board spot kind of, and instead of just retiring from competing altogether. She just pivoted again. She seems like even if they
quick
let
on
her
her
keep
feet.
racing, she probably would have moved on to something else for too long. She's always bouncing around different things. As Burke writes, rather than abandoning competition altogether, Camille simply transferred her competitive spirit to motor boat racing. If they wouldn't let her race on the land, she would race on the water.
The
Beautifully
car
put,
of the
Burke.
sea, I've heard.
In international waters too, no rules out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoa.
It is weird they didn't call them motor car boats. Water cars.
Water cars.
Was it because boats were around before cars?
I don't know.
Possibly why.
Ships, yeah.
Yeah. I'll get back onto that soon, but I should mention whilst acting as a motorsport pioneer, she continued with her business interests, and on top of that, was involved in diplomatic work and political activism. Bloody yeah.
Politicals.
We're talking before
Wow.
like an overachiever. Bloody hell. She's like all the businesses. She's an activist. She's a
in
diplomat.
the mines.
She's in the mines.
Segueing around the department store.
It feels like she's got to be more, what do you get? Master of none, jack of all trades kind of thing. How can you be good at so many things? I say you can't.
Yeah, I feel like Diane might say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe a couple things to drop the ball on.
Being present. Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk a bit about this. Well, Burke will. He writes, the sensational quality of her life and accomplishments made her a natural subject for women's magazines and journals of the era, and she shrewdly used this publicity to bring awareness to causes she cared about passionately. During this period, Camille was also entangled in a Parisian scandal known as La Femme au Masque.
Oh.
What does that mean, Dave? First, you got to figure out what words I was saying.
Female mask, are you saying that?
Yeah, I don't know what masque, M-A-S-Q-U-E.
Mask.
This is when she was maliciously but incorrectly identified as the nude model in a notorious painting by Henri Guvet. This salacious accusation resulted in 3 court cases and garnered some negative international media attention.
It does mean mask.
There you go. Dave, you're all over it. Despite these challenges, she maintained her public...
So the female mask was the name of this nude picture that everyone was like, Camille, that's you.
Yeah,
Is
so
it-
she was obviously wearing the model had a mask on.
And that's
Yeah.
why they can't prove that it is her or not her.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a naked lady with a mask.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm get that. That makes sense to me.
Wow.
But yeah, she maintained her active public life and growing involvement in humanitarian causes. Sadly, this scandal wasn't the only negative experience she had at the time, as Burke writes. By the early 1900s, Camille's daughter Diane
Here she is.
Diane Crespin, was estranged from her mother. Historical records are unclear as to why, though if Camille and Crespin had her out of wedlock, assuming that's still, that 4-year gap,
Yeah.
then potentially this would have left her out of the inheritance of Crespin and Camille's fortune. Which is that?
But if they weren't married, how did Camille get Crespin's money?
Well, they got married probably 4 years later.
After. Okay.
But also, was it
So they
different
were
back then?
married at some point.
Yes.
But no one knows the date.
Yeah,
They've
they
got
weren't
this-
When they were born, they weren't married. Get them out.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So I don't understand. So they had the marriage certificate. They just could not figure out what date was on there.
Yeah, well, this is something you come across with history. There are often
Wait, so
competing
people
views.
aren't right?
Well,
So
they
you're
just
saying?
people will, records. There might be a little smudge on the page. It could be anything. If only our mate Braden Burke was in the room with us right now,
He'd know.
he'd know.
He was there.
He's yelling at his iPod right now.
We can post this during the week if we don't mind putting this on. But that's the feminine mask.
Oh
Really?
yeah,
And see, so it is a lady who is
It is a lady.
nude but wearing a mask. So that's why I guess people would say that's her, and she'd say that's not me. I didn't.
that's so funny.
So, 'cause it's like
and it's a painting.
You can paint anyone.
yeah, that's so funny.
If that is me,
Yeah, they could have just been like this imagination.
Yeah.
Like,
and if they base it on me, that's their mind.
yeah.
I don't
I
necessarily
didn't
look
pose
like that.
for
Yeah.
anything.
Do you find it interesting that, apparently she is out of the inheritance because potentially was born out of wedlock? Surely Camille could say, "Oh no, I choose who I leave the stuff to." I was like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
Of course.
Sorry,
Yeah.
no. Rules are rules. Mom, you can just put my name on the thing. Yep, afraid not. Out of my hands.
Ugh.
Yeah, gosh, if only I had, access to a pen, but I don't.
So sorry.
Sorry.
It is all going to my equestrian teacher. The rules are rules.
Burke writes that, according to accounts, Diane began attempting to extort money from her mother, leveraging inheritance disputes as a means to gain access to her wealth. Legal battles over family assets further strained their relationship, with Camille embroiled in court cases against other family members during this period. I'll get into more of this later, but we really got to get into this motorboat racing.
Ah.
Oh, what are we, an hour in yet? I haven't mentioned the motorboat race. Fantastic.
Burke writes, the first documented yacht race was held in 1661 in England. Motorboat racing is much younger as a sport, though, obviously.
Whoa.
Originating.
Well, yeah. She put the motor on.
That's right. During the early 1900s is when it kicked off, as technological advancements in internal combustion engines made powered watercraft possible. The sport quickly gained popularity among wealthy enthusiasts like Camille, who sought to transfer the thrill of land-based automobile racing to the open waters.
Oh, yeah.
In 1902, the British Marine Motoring Association was formed, officially organising motorboat racing as a competitive sport. In 1903, France held its first major motorboat races. In 1903, the Harmsworth Trophy was established, which was an international boat racing competition held at Queenstown Harbour in Ireland. And this is considered the first motorboat race of significant importance, 1903.
Whoa. Like ever? Or just France?
No, ever. I was in Ireland, so
Whoa.
yeah.
Which is,
Outside
Dave,
of
sorry,
France.
as a joke, is
I told
Ireland
you
in France?
I'm not good with Europe. I told you
Okay,
that.
great. We won't know.
Okay, we'll never know. I mean, I said it's not. It's its own country. Agree to disagree?
Agree to ignore your opinion.
Agree.
So yes, 1905 comes around. Finally, it's time to talk about the Algiers to Toulon motor race.
It's such a long distance when it's only been invented a couple of years before. That suddenly the scale has obviously exploded.
Yeah, what's your guess at how successful this will be?
I reckon everyone will make it.
Yeah, everyone will make it. What are you
Well,
thinking?
how long is it, Algiers to Toulon?
Oof. Well, it's not long enough, if you ask me.
You don't have this information handy?
I mean, I do, but further down
I mean, I had no
further
idea.
down my report.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry.
If you just do measured distance on
Okay.
Google Maps, obviously, it's not necessarily a straight line that they're traveling in. About 750 kilometers.
Okay. That is...
Right.
The Google AI was a fair way off that. It said 437.
All right. But like I said, that's straight line, so possibly even further.
So yeah, a while.
Wow. Yeah, that is.
So
yeah.
what percentage do you reckon will make it to the finish line?
Are they all dead-eyed dicks?
Shooting?
Yeah.
That's
As
a great
far as I
question.
know,
Are they
there's
all pretty
only
good?
one dead-eyed dick.
Okay.
But there's more than one entrant.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, my 100% rating is looking a little silly now.
At least half. Surely half would get it. I reckon 50%.
All right, 50%. Well, let's see. We'll check in with you again later.
All right. I'm on 100. Ray wants 50. Let's find out.
Well, how many people did it?
I think there were like 7 entrants, 7 boats.
Oh, okay.
I think that's right. We'll get to that soon. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid all in one place.
Love that. Now let's talk services, because Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place.
Yeah, that's so good.
Don't leave that place. Stay there.
Oh, Dave, little suggestion. Let's do this ad read without any sort of fumbles or anything. Let's just nail it.
Copy that.
Okay, I'm not editing this. This is going out live, basically.
Here we go. So from consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website design to attract clients and grow your business. You get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices.
That was on purpose, wasn't
But they
it?
are on board. You know, you're on board.
I'm on board with them.
Yeah, I'm on board. And you get online payments, plus streamline your workflow with built-in appointments, scheduling, depending on how you say that, and email marketing tools.
Hey, and with Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a bespoke online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business. Start with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps, using basic information about your industry, goals, and personality to generate premium quality content and personalized design recommendations. Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates.
Love that. It's easy and intuitive. No experience is required, and you can head to squarespace.com/do-go-on for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/do-go-on.
Let's do it, Dave. Is it time?
Yeah.
I reckon it's time for us to re-zhuzh up our website.
On 3. Let's do it.
Hey, this is Josie Santi from the Every Girl podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dressed season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe, discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy, too, with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
So yeah, flashback to episode 358, another classic big race episode. That was the New York to Paris motor race. And this is the episode that sparked Braden Burke's interest in this story. In that episode, I quoted Karen Abbott, writing for the Smithsonian, saying that, quote, "A man named Boursier Saint-Chaffray once organised a motorboat race from Marseille to Algiers that resulted in every single boat sinking. Interestingly, this man, Saint-Chaffray, was also an entrant in the race we're talking about today. So he's got good form. Don't worry. The early races were tough.
Yeah.
And his boat in this race was the ALGER-TOULON. Dave, which roughly translates apparently to despite everything.
Malgatoot.
ALGER-TOULON. Toot toot. His boat was notable for its large size and unique design, measuring 65 feet in length with an 11-foot beam or width. Of the race, Burke writes, it was organised by the Paris newspaper Le Matin.
Does that mean the morning?
The matter?
What does it mean? That's the morning.
It's M-A-T-I-N.
Yes. And how do you pronounce that?
Le matin.
Le Matin.
So that means the morning.
Yeah,
And
so
then
it's the morning
the
newspaper.
matter.
Funnily enough.
Wasn't there 2 words you said?
Oh, no, I just repeated.
Okay. Because they sounded very different.
They were very different. Le Matin and Mercedes also sponsored the race and organised it. And that newspaper, Le Matin, was also the driving force behind the New York to Paris and Peking to Paris motor races, which we've done episodes on in the past.
Great. And the whole point of them sponsoring is that they get like the exclusive coverage of it.
Yeah,
Right? So it's very exciting to cover it every day.
Right.
Burke writes, the event received significant support from the French Minister of Marine, who provided torpedo destroyers to escort the competitors and offered a prize for the race. This collaboration between a prominent media outlet, a major automobile manufacturer, and government officials highlighted the growing public interest in the sport, or at least the spectacle. Yeah, it sounds so full on. It feels like overkill being the torpedo destroyers. I think they were just there to make sure the races were safe. You know, if they got into trouble, I don't think they were there protecting the little boats from people shooting
anything?
torpedoes at them.
They also weren't there pressuring them, be like, keep going.
Yeah.
Or we'll shoot you.
yeah. We can destroy a torpedo. We can destroy your little boat, mate. And we will do it.
I've just got a little red dot.
Oh,
God.
You're sweating, like, I need a little sleep. And then you see the dot just rising up. We'll go through the night. It wasn't just the French government backing the event either. According to Kevin Desmond, author of Powerboat, The Quest for Speed Over Water, quote, some 120,000 francs in prize money and cups presented by the President of the French Republic, the King of Spain, and the Prince of Monaco were also donated for the race. It wasn't just the French government. It was heavy hitters from Spain and Monaco as well.
All royalty.
And it sounds like the prize would be equivalent today to around 750,000 USD.
Wow.
Well, this is a big chunk of change. You got to remember, most of the people involved
very wealthy
rich, so
to have a motorboat.
Yeah, so they weren't real. It wasn't really about the cash for them anyway. It was the thrills, maybe a bit of the notoriety, being the first to do stuff.
You get
a challenge.
You get a cup from Monaco. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Put it in the pool room.
Yeah. I'll check it with the other cups.
Yeah.
Back to the fine work of Burke for this next little bit. Camille's transition to boating began in September of 1904 when she piloted a sleek motorboat named Massuin on the Seine River near Paris. Her performance attracted considerable attention, not only for her skill but also for her elegant attire. A tightly cinched corset under a full-length leather coat, gloves, and a hat with a veil adorned with violets.
I keep talking about what she looks like. Really?
Weird. Yeah, it is. It's a real throwback.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Next, in April of 1905, Camille after I spent time saying that she was an uggo, basically, before.
Yeah.
But I was really not just talking about her. I was talking about her whole time.
Her whole generation.
I was talking about
You're talking about
humankind.
all the women.
And men.
Okay.
And probably animals, too, if give me a look at them. Try not to vomit.
Be the judge.
Before, what's your dog
not.
called, Dave? Not your called. What's the breed?
Groodle.
Yeah, before Groodles were invented.
That's right.
Dogs were hideous back then. Next, in April 1905, Camille competed in Monaco's prestigious motorboat meet, which featured an unprecedented number of entrants and drew significant public attention. She raced her boat La Turquoise. What is that? What's the colour? Turquoise.
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 Turkeys? Is that what
La Turquoise. No, what is it?
Turquoise.
Turquoise. She raced in her boat, La Turquoise. Fitted with a powerful 150 horsepower six-cylinder Panhard engine. Remember, before she was in a 20 horsepower.
Yeah, this is way more. Wow.
Entering the 100-kilometre race for boats in the 8 to 12 metre class, Camille was reported as being a skilled pilot, but ultimately did not finish the event due to mechanical issues. The Algiers-Toulon race would come just 1 month later in May of the same year, and Camille commissioned the PERTE Company of Paris to build a 43-foot or 13-metre custom steel-hulled powerboat named Camille.
Well,
now she's gotten somewhere.
Okay.
Just a coincidence, I think. And that was
I named this after my daughter.
whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Well, just as a placeholder, just use Camille. And when it comes to me, I'll let you know.
remember.
Yep.
I'll do some research.
And it was equipped with 90 horsepower Charon Girardeau Voigt engine.
Whoa.
Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah, Gerard Depardieu designed. The race was split up as a 2-stage competition. Stage 1 from Algiers, Algeria to Port Mahon, Menorca, 195 nautical miles. Stage 2 from Port Mahon to Toulon in France, approximately 230 nautical miles. Where's Menorca? I'm like, is that how you spell Mallorca? But it's not. I think it's a different place.
Oh, a different island, is it?
Menorca, yeah, I guess.
Menorca, Mallorca.
Where's Mallorca?
That's part of Spain.
And where's Menorca?
Menorca, looking it up now. It's also one of Spain's Balearic Islands.
Is it halfway between Algeria and Toulon? Well, not quite halfway.
What sounded like it?
Yeah. Anyway, so there were 7 boats competing in the race, and each had a crew of between 4 and 9 people. There was an Italian entry, which was the smallest boat, only 30 feet, with a 60 horsepower engine, but it was reliable, and that was named Fiat. There was Camille's boat. There was a Mercedes boat, which was a 45-footer. There was another Mercedes one, which I prefer the name of, Mercedes.
So good they named it twice.
Piloted by Emil Jelinek. It was a 60-footer. Then you had the one we talked about before, Malguetout by Bossier de Saint-Chaffrey. That was the largest boat at 65 feet, 120 horsepower. Then you had the Hercules 2, and apparently the pilot is unknown. This is what we're talking about. They're just little documented things. It had a mahogany hull, 35 foot long.
We remember that.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the person driving it.
And finally, Duc Ducazy was the pilot of the Quantum Mime, which was a real luxurious 74.46 footer with twin 100 horsepower.
Whoa.
So that's the
200
and a crew of
pounds.
9.
That's the big boy.
Yeah, that's a
Whoa.
big. Yeah.
A crew of 9.
Yeah, luxury.
Whoa.
I don't know this, but I'm picturing the rich person. They've written their name as pilot, and they're just on a banana lounge drinking mojitos.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then yelling out, keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is it.
They've definitely.
Forward. That's right. Keep it going.
They've definitely got a fake steering wheel. You just see the real captain behind the boat steering.
We're doing it. Back to Burke. The first stage of the race officially began at Algiers at 6 a.m. on the 7th of May, 1905, where the fleet of boats departed under calm sea conditions, each leaving at intervals of a few minutes and led by the big fancy one, the Quantum Mime.
Whoa. But she was the only woman doing this, wasn't she?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And is she solo?
Or did
No,
she have
no
a
one's
crew?
solo. Everyone's got at least
They have
Everyone's got a
a
crew.
crew. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
between 4 and 9 people on every
Yeah,
boat.
right.
Camille performed well during the first leg, covering the 195 nautical miles to Port Mahon, Menorca in 16 hours, but
There's a bit
arrived
of,
second.
Menorca is next to Majorca. Very
Oh,
close together.
okay.
So just look it up. Second, that's great.
Yeah. The Fiat, the Italian entry, was leading at that point. And it got there quite a few hours before that. She got there in 16 hours. The Fiat got there in just over 12 hours. It arrived at 6:15 p.m. She arrived at 10 p.m. Taking up the rear, the Malguetout had to be towed in a port. Like I can't really remember him, but it sounds like he's not too good at stuff. This guy, or he loves having a go, but
This
doesn't
is
have a
the
lot
guy
of luck.
who sucked at the race. So everything.
Yeah.
No one made it, including him.
He organised that race
Yeah.
as well, apparently. According to the Smithsonian, I could not find much else about that race at all.
Wow.
But it's great to have another crack.
Yeah. So he's being towed in, and then the Hercules 2 arrived much later in the morning at 11 a.m., so like a full half day later. However, bad weather delayed the start of the second leg from Menorca to Toulon until May the 13th. Unlucky. No sources that Burke has found have much of any specific information regarding this part of the race, as it was markedly uneventful. However, that's about to change.
Whoa.
Despite the 5-day delay in the start of this leg, intended to allow a massive storm to pass, shortly after leaving Port Mahon, Menorca, the racers soon found themselves engulfed by the storm.
Oh.
Should have waited another
Storm came
day.
to them.
Well, if you're going to wait, may as well. You're on bloody an island near Majorca, which sounds like it's a cool island.
Oh,
Enjoy
I mean, I
yourself.
haven't heard of Menorca.
Yes.
It's probably a dud, but
But go to the other island. You got 5
you're so
days.
close to Majorca.
Get over there.
The timeline for the first of the boats to sink is unclear.
The first of the boats to sink. What a sentence.
Wow.
But before long, the Fiat was taken on board the support ship that was following close by and was the only boat not to sink due to the race. Every other boat sank.
Sunk.
And they only made it
Whoa.
because the boat was taken in by a bigger boat.
Yeah. Keep in mind, due to the French Minister of Marine involvement in the race, French torpedo ships and cruisers were used as support vessels meant to
of
follow
course.
close
You
to each
gotta have the
races.
torpedoes.
So you're lucky. They were lucky they had these big Navy ships
Yeah,
there to rescue them.
Wow.
Soon the Mercedes CP was being towed by its support ship before the tow line snapped and the ship sank beneath the waves. So it sank while being towed.
Yeah.
Wow, with people on board or
Well, they were at one point, but they got off. And then they...
Before
Yeah,
before
they
the
were able
the
to-
tow line broke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
And then you had a similar fate for the Mercedes, which was brought in tow, but its support ship had to cut the lines to prevent itself from sinking. It was going to drag it under as well.
Hey, sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, you're dragging us
We can't
down.
keep doing this.
And then, as soon as they cut it, the Mercedes sank straight away,
Very quickly.
The Hercules 2 also broke away while being towed. The line snapped. And unfortunately for them, their crew was still on board. However, the support ship was able to relocate the ship and rescue the crew before this boat also sank.
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh.
As for
The Hercules, not the sport ship.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
As for the ALGER-TOULON, it was smashed to pieces against its support ship.
Oh my God.
That's great support.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so glad
I
you're
really
here.
needed this.
Yeah.
It's a real abusive relationship. You're my support. Smash.
I can't believe. But no one was on board that one either.
No.
Thank goodness.
They're all, so far, no casualties.
Whoa.
Did
Tom-
say so far.
Yeah, which could be till this very day. Maybe they're all still alive.
Being supported.
Burke says the time frame here is messy, but it appears that sometimes after the Fiat was brought aboard its support vessel and the 4 other boats sank, the sea began to calm briefly before getting rough again. A guy called Mr. France Rachel was on board a nearby support vessel and later stated about this moment. It was midday, and the sea, which seemed to have calmed down, was swelling again. 2 competitors remained in the race, the Quand Meme and the Camille. The latter sailing with a large lead. That's Camille.
I love that they're still like, let's finish the race.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
up behind us is like, they're smashed to pieces. I can
You and
finish
I
this.
can
Yeah.
go.
And she was going at a superb pace that drew cries of admiration from all the officers of the support vessel Kleber, and so
Well,
beautifully
of course
blew
they were
on the
going
green
to
wave.
support her.
Yeah. Hey, this is
Their
our one
whole
job.
job.
But eventually, even the largest boat, the Quand Meme, was struggling. It remained afloat until 5 p.m. on May the 14th, the next day, but its crew was ultimately forced to abandon it. While technically not sinking during the race, it was well out of the running before the race ended and did sink shortly afterwards.
Eventually.
So even the one that didn't sink because of the race sank.
Sank.
So
Wow.
this leaves Camille du Gast and Camille, the last racer standing.
Kind of by default. Like, not really.
Well,
I mean, she was.
leading anyway, and
After
the only
the
one
others
making
sank.
good time.
Yeah.
Well, she was. Yeah, the leader sank pretty quickly. She was second and
Yeah.
well ahead of the field. And a big part of racing is remaining in the race.
Yeah. Steve Bradbury knows.
Yeah. He'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
That was. I mean, maybe she was Bradburying
This
it
was a bit of a Bradbury.
because, like, the Bradbury
'Cause,
thing.
yeah.
I mean,
all
he
these boats, all
purposely
these
held
support
back
ships
as well.
as well. Yeah.
That was the thing about Bradbury. No one ever gives him the due
Credit
for.
for.
He actually knew what he
He
was
knew.
doing. He's like, there's a chance.
He's hoping for a
he
pile
was playing for a
He saw.
second. It was really clever.
Just like Camille.
Only she was coming. You seem to be diminishing her efforts here, Raywin. And I'm I guess the only feminist on this episode. Jess often sits in that seat. You know, she has some feminist tendencies. I don't think she's
Well,
full
bless
blown
her.
like me.
You know? We all have our faults.
So Camille, she's still going strong. And with the help of one of her crew in particular, Naval Lieutenant Menier, Camille fought to keep the engine on and the water pumps pumping out water that was pouring into the vessel whilst being battered by 30-foot waves.
30
Whoa.
foot.
So to her, that's not that high. She climbed a 25-foot meter wall when she was a kid.
True.
But yes, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And even Camille knew when it was time to give up. And it was abundantly clear to those on board the support vessel, Kleber, that she was in trouble. Now I'm going to be reading. There's a much longer article, and I was going to read it all at one point, but I'm just going to give
All
you
in French?
Well, luckily, Braden Burke has translated for us. But this is for an article from Le Petit Journal from the 28th of May, 1905.
Is that a big journal?
I think that's one of the biggest.
Yeah.
So this is I've just sort of clipped out some of the highlights, including how it all ends, but just the drama of the writing is so great. I've trimmed out some of the details about the rescue, but this is all about Camille's boat being rescued by its support ship. The entire crew of the frail steel shell is on deck. Lieutenant Menier at the helm. Madame du Gast is at his side. The 4 men have their life belts and, hanging onto the boat, they await help. With what anxiety? The storm is blowing furiously. The waves are enormous. Maddening! 7 brave men rush forward. The 7 volunteers surrender themselves to the wave. What a scene of anguish! 10 times the hateful wave throws them back onto the side of the cruiser where they nearly break. 10 times they set off again. But yeah, that's how it sort of kicks off.
Incredible.
And I'm going to give you some of the highlights, some of my favourite passages. Oh, this terrifying spectacle of 5 men and a woman delivered to such danger when one feels helpless. And with a supreme effort, they approach the Camille. Our hearts are gripped by a painful emotion. Saved! But no! The whale boat is no longer moving forward. The sea wants its prey. The men are weakening. The task is beyond human strength. We are losing hope. And what torments they must go through. The unfortunate ones.
Oh, not the unfortunate ones.
And these seconds are centuries of horror. A new cry, this one. Horrible. Exhausted. The man has let go. Madame du Gast has fallen into the sea. It is a catastrophe. Behind her, 2 men have rushed into the water. They grab Madame du Gast and, with her, cling to the edge of the Camille. We can barely see them in the darkness that surrounds us. And this drama in the dark is terrible to live through. And finally, when they are all saved, finally relieved, we were able to cry with joy. As for the Camille, taken in tow, it broke its mooring at 9 o'clock. We saw it disappear in the distance in the sea.
Wow.
Oh, what a ride. Yeah. Oh, my God.
But they got her out.
They got her out. They got everyone out.
Just in time.
Burke could not find any evidence of a single fatality in this whole thing. Everyone survived. All the shipwrecks.
All the storm, all the support.
All the rescuers, yeah.
And I guess it turned out that they needed the full Navy with them.
Yeah. Seemed like overkill.
Yeah.
But in the end,
pretty lucky.
They needed every inch of that. Kevin Desmond, who we were talking about before, the author of The Quest for Speed Over Water, explains the outcome of the race, writing, as a contestant who had come closer to Toulon, just 50 miles away, got quite close, Madame du Gast was proclaimed the winner and promptly retired from racing.
I didn't know she got that close.
Yeah, so close.
Wow.
But yeah, as soon as declared the winner, retired from racing to devote herself to organising and financing the French Anti-Cruelty to Animals Society.
Oh, poor Diane. Still not.
I love my pets.
Yeah.
I love all my pets. Anyone else you love?
One comes to mind.
Yeah.
I
would
my
prefer
servants.
to give all of my money.
Oh, there was that guy on the boat.
Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah, he seemed like an all right guy. But yeah, let's go back to the daughter. We'll let Burke take us out, tying up a few loose ends and whatnot. We'll breeze through the final 3 decades of Camille's life.
She's settled down, obviously.
Yeah.
Or still motorizing her whole life.
I imagine, yeah. Well, she's working with animals, just putting on engines on them.
Oh, yeah. This is horsepower.
This horse has 1 horsepower.
I'm feeding it coal.
Okay, that didn't work.
Sorry,
Let's try something. I'm making this horse coal power. No, that didn't work. What else would we try? Okay.
Asbestos.
Okay, here we go. Hand-fed asbestos. So, by 1910, Camille's daughter Diane grew increasingly estranged and violent in intent. Historical accounts describe Diane as jealous and mercenary, motivated by resentment towards her mother's fame and wealth. And maybe the fact that Mum can't remember her name.
She didn't have family.
Camille's adventurous lifestyle and public acclaim may have contributed to Diane's feelings of inadequacy or bitterness. Regardless of why, Diane decided to hire a group of men to kill her mother.
Oh
okay.
My God.
That's interesting.
Is that where you saw that finishing?
No, a little bit better.
Logical conclusion in my mind.
So the gang broke into Camille's home under the cover of darkness, intending to carry out their plan without detection, which I think is...
That's a good intention.
That is a good intention.
Okay, they knew what they were doing.
Our intention is to succeed at whatever we're doing.
Burke I think those comments about your writing there were positive, okay?
Oh, yes.
We liked that.
Yeah, that was classic Bert.
Classic bit.
Oh, I thought that was the groups.
No. Our mate Burke is translating the French.
The French.
That's right, the French.
I see,
That's how they speak.
They wear their
see.
intent on their sleeves.
Very passionate.
Camille, however, heard the men break into her home and confronted them directly.
So they were detectives.
Okay.
They were instantly
Oh,
detected.
you got us. I better tell you my name. It's my driver's license.
I'm so sorry about this.
Burke says they were so shocked that they promptly fled. So they're like,
Oh.
ugh. Well, our plan was to do this undetected. So I
Not
guess,
even a quick stab.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, she's awake. Oh, God.
She saw us.
Also, she's a dead-eyed dick. If they knew anything about it, as soon as she was awake, you'd be like, no, we were just
Don't
joking.
shoot.
Yeah. Your daughter made us do it.
I don't have a daughter.
Daughter?
Are you
You mean
kidding?
one of my chickens? But yeah, details of what happened that night are murky, but apparently all accounts attest to her bravery. In the decades following the assassination attempt, Camille devoted herself wholeheartedly to a variety of social and political causes. She became deeply involved in providing healthcare access in Morocco, building on her earlier familiarity with the region from her solo travels there. During her missions here, she also mapped Berber migration routes, catalogued 142 medicinal plants, and documented German arms shipments through Tangier. Additionally, she studied cultures of North Africa during this period with her 1911 report, Femmes du Het Atlas, which included phonograph recordings of oral histories and preservation of wedding chants. I just can't get my head around how much stuff she did.
That is so varied. Like,
Yeah.
there's not like a through line.
No,
like,
yeah, it's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
Does she ever go to sleep ever?
Yeah, it's wild. As mentioned, she also dedicated herself to defending animal rights, eventually becoming president of the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, a position she would hold until her death. In this role, she would institute canine welfare reform, including a Code du Gast, municipal regulations, which mandated 2 meters of minimum kennel space per dog and daily 45-minute exercise periods and compulsory anesthesia for tail docking. So before her, they just lop off the tails
Yeah.
without anesthesia.
Oh,
Camille's animal rights activism was particularly notable for its hands-on approach regarding bullfighting.
She wanted to cut those tails off herself. I'll do it.
But this is about bullfighting. Her campaign against bullfighting, including using acoustic disruption from modified Renault engines equipped with 150 decibel silence to startle bulls, enacting 127 lawsuits against bullfighting arena owners, and training undercover activists as matador assistants to stage interventions. Imagine that you're a matador
even
and your assistant has like worked their way into. They've been working for you for a while, and then one day they're like, "Anyway, I've invited you here today to say what are we doing? Come on." These bulls don't deserve this.
This is crazy.
Come on,
This is
what's
an
going
intervention.
on? In Paris, Camille established programs providing healthcare to disadvantaged women and children, addressing critical social needs that were often overlooked by government services of the time. In addition, her feminist principles were highlighted in her service as vice president of the French League for the Rights of Women after World War I. Perhaps most remarkably, Camille continued her charitable work during the German occupation of France in World War II, refusing to abandon her humanitarian mission even under extremely difficult and dangerous circumstances. This persistence demonstrated her lifelong commitment to helping others regardless of personal risk or hardship, and showcased the same tenacity, determination, and spirit she showed throughout her motorsport career and life. I don't know if we've ever talked about a more impressive person. I'm
No,
not sure.
that is when you said, but perhaps most impressively.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah.
How could this be told? Wow.
Yeah.
But she did so much good, like, in the world. But then you just can't help but think, what about Diane? You know, like,
Oh, Diane.
I don't know. She was just right in front of you. You're just like over looking past her to the little dogs with nubs. Like, I don't know, Diane.
Sweet, sweet Diane.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe she was just a bad kid.
Yeah.
Well, we
One
don't
of
know.
those bad ones.
She might have been a bad egg, mate. She was a
Oh,
Crespin
yeah.
after all. Good name for an egg. Like, we all agree on that.
We all agree.
Hope AJ didn't edit that out before. I was like, fuck.
Gotta put the
No callbacks.
Gotta put the Cressman shit back in.
Burke finishes saying, sadly, all good things must come to an end. And Camille du Gast died on 24th of April, 1942 at the age of 73, having lived a truly remarkable life. Today, while being little known compared to other pioneering women of history, her tomb in France is often covered in flowers from the roughly 2,300 visitors that come by every year.
Wow. I wonder, so is she the most well-known because of that race or from all, I mean, she did all this, so much stuff.
She did so much stuff, but I think that race is like, that was her motor race
her.
And then that race were the things that really got her broader attention.
Whoa.
Right.
And maybe
so people still visit her, like these motors.
Yeah, I guess so.
In like real diehard fans.
Yeah.
Are visiting her grave.
What's that, Dave, every day? 2,300?
Like 6 and a bit.
6 and a bit a day. That's a pretty busy
That's a busy grave.
That's like someone's
a great
visiting.
turnover there.
Yeah, once every 4 hours, including
Yeah,
Wow.
round
overnight
the
hours.
clock.
Well, okay,
Wow.
let's say daylight hours.
Oh, yeah. You don't
Someone's
go to
going
a cemetery and not.
every couple of hours.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing story. I really appreciate Braden Burke for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah, amazing.
Beth as well for suggesting it, and also Oz for suggesting we talk about the race.
Wow.
Obviously, just based
Is
on there
that
not being that much info on the race,
Yeah.
it was interesting. But her life was really
Fascinating.
wild, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do they still do that? What happened the year after? Like, did they do the race? And
I don't
did
think it ended up becoming a big race. I mean, she retired straight after.
Yeah.
Anyway. I believe.
It sounds like
Is
it
it
wasn't a success
Yeah.
at all.
I don't
But
think
the government would be mad
No
to
one was
sponsor it
looking
again.
around
Yeah.
going round 2.
Yeah.
Mercedes. We go again.
Yeah, the fact that no boat
Yeah,
Came
there was
out of
no
the water?
support this time.
Come on.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. So I think
0%
Raywin was closer.
Yeah. With my 50%.
I thought everyone was going to make it,
Guess.
but I'm just a happy,
You're an optimist.
good lucky guy, you know?
You never know.
I like to believe.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the report. Thanks so much, Raywin, for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
This
Raywin.
is a delight.
Our guest
I learnt
jest.
so much. Guest jest, yeah. It was a real fest in here.
Now you record a podcast yourself in this very room. Is that true? I've been on it, so I
yes.
know it's true.
Yes, you've been in this room.
So you weren't imagining that?
With your sister, who
with my sister, no less, who's
from
been
Rake,
on,
obviously
from Rake.
from Rake. is that what's her most known? Because that's what I first became familiar with her on that.
Yeah, probably Rake.
I saw
well,
a
she
clip
was
from
on
your episode with
the-
Luke McGregor, and he
Yes.
was like, "You were in that shark movie
On the reef.
On the reef.
Yeah, she gets eaten by a shark. So sorry for spoilers for a 10-year-old movie.
She also made out in a deleted scene with Nicolas Cage in a movie one time.
Yeah.
So fun.
Done it all.
That's gross.
Isn't it?
That's so what?
Dave's going to need a minute. More? Uh-oh. The support rope
Rethinking
snapped.
everything.
I wonder what's a wilder moment, being told you're going to make out with Nicolas Cage or being told you've done it but it's been deleted.
Big
Yeah.
cut. Yeah.
Can I get the
After
footage
all
of that?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after all the preparation.
all the all the lip balm that you
Yeah.
went through.
That's for nothing. But what's the name of the podcast? We can find
The
it.
name is This a Job? Yes, with my sister Adrienne. So we talk to just creative people. So Matt's been on. Would love to have you one day, Dave,
be
when
so
you're
good
free.
on it.
I'd love to. I'd love to do it.
If you could come on. No books are mentioned. So
Great. I need a
You've had-
break. I need a break.
You've had muses. And do you remember
We've had
Ice Cream
muses.
Hands, Dave? The main man from Ice
The
Cream Hands been on?
Melbourne. There's a Melbourne band.
Yeah.
Classic
But
Triple
yeah,
J
anyway,
band.
with yes, Charles Jenkins, very funny musician. So, funny but also a very good musician. His episode was great. Jordan Hickey, Luke McGregor.
So good.
Going to record an episode with Ben Russell in a couple of days, which will be so
Awesome.
fun.
Can
but
I
anyway,
request
Yeah.
you asking Oliver Clark?
Oh,
I'm just so deep in Oliver Clark's back catalogue at the moment. I want to hear more of the story.
how he got into it.
Yeah. I
What-
think it'd be really interesting. Like this sort of
What was the
Character of
inspiration
the Vegas-
behind short-skirted girl?
Okay, well, I wouldn't be asking that question because I think that that's a bit that we all, that's
We
right
all
there.
understand.
I want you asking the deeper questions.
Look, well, I don't have a tube. I think it's pretty clear. I don't have a degree. I don't know these hard-hitting...
I'll just
I
let
don't know
anyone
these
out there with
hard-hitting
the goats.
questions. No,
That's
but
why
it's great.
they call her short skirt girl. She's my short skirt girl.
Wham.
She wears a short skirt. That's why I call her short skirt girl. I love that. So fun.
But yes, please listen to Is This a Job? And also, if you're in the Melbourne area, I run a gig called Miss Moses comedy with another very funny comedian, Jordan Barr. She's great. So yeah, come
And it's
along.
a great,
Miss Moses in Brunswick.
Great Brunswick bar.
It's a great bar.
Rotating craft beer taps.
Yes.
Love it.
And that's the first Wednesday of the month, is that right?
Every month, it sure is. Yes, you've both been on. The nice little thing is you have to tell a secret. So I know some of your darkest.
Yeah, I told
the darkest recesses of your mind.
I'm like, I can turn. This is a great opportunity to soft launch a bit and just like, and there was one that I've never said to anyone before or since. Because it was like, it got so bleak in the room. I'm like, ooh.
Really? I don't remember that. I mean, it's usually always very warm. Okay.
Nice.
And it's eyesight.
Yeah.
Not dead eye.
I like misread this situation.
Just a real slow clap to try to get you out of there.
And you got to start your set with it.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
7 more minutes of chat after that.
Yeah.
Wind them back. Don't worry, wind it back with nonsense.
Zip your pants back up.
So my fly's done up. It's a classic Oliver Clark bit.
Classic.
Oliver Clark. Everyone should listen to his tunes. Let's go around the room. Favorite Oliver Clark song at the moment?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I can never go past Atomic Thrust. It's
Atomic
It's
Thrust.
one of the all-time greats.
Great film clip as well. Evan Monroe
I
Smith.
haven't seen the film.
Mate, oh man, it's so good. Check it out. Really good stuff.
Where can I find it?
YouTube.
Okay, great.
70,000 views and
it up.
counting.
Wow.
I watched it last night. I also watched his album launch, which is on his YouTube channel. Watched that last night as well when I was meant to be.
You went
writing.
deep into it.
Yeah, I'm deep in. I'm loving Honey Bear at the moment, which I think is so great. Honey, yeah. But I can't believe you're making me choose.
Wow. Has he been a guest on Hugh Newitt?
He hasn't. He's been on Do Go On.
He was on Do Go
He was
On.
on the Mr. Hands episode.
Yeah.
The infamous Mr. Hands episode. And it's so funny to think that he's never been back on, so he thinks that that's what the show is every week. Which is interesting.
Yes. Anyway, we'll be back shortly with everyone's favourite section of the show. But before then, we'll say thank you so much for joining us, Raywin.
Thank you so much. This was a pleasure. An absolute delight.
Thank you so
both.
much, Raywin.
All right, we've said goodbye to Raywin. We've had a little break, and we've welcomed in who I think of now as sort of like our guest Raywin for the rest of the show. I'd love to introduce her. Please make a welcome, Dave. Jess Perkins.
Great to meet you.
Oh, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, I'm a big fan.
Am I doing this right?
Yes.
Okay.
You two have never done an improv class,
I
but
know.
you just entered a scene and owned it.
Well, look, when you took quite so much high school drama as we did, it never really leaves you. That's
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You trod the boards every day.
Oh, I tried. My every existence was trotting the boards.
I wish our school had boards.
The whole world is but a board, and we are all trotters.
Yes.
We are merely trotting. So,
Beautiful.
Jess, you obviously missed that episode.
Were you listening at the door? I assume you were.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I wasn't off doing something else.
Okay, great.
You know what? I just needed a break. So I said, Raywin, sub in.
Are you-
I don't even think they'll notice.
Ryan was just walking past.
Yeah, I was like, can you go in?
Jess, can I ask it? You had like a genuine reason not to be here. It wasn't a sickness.
No.
Are you going public with that, or are you? Because otherwise, I'd love to just make something up right now.
Please make something up. I'm not going public with anything. It's none of their fucking business.
Yeah. So Jess
I'm trying to better myself as a person.
Yeah, Jess is actually taking a class right now. Dave, are you ready to reveal what it is?
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, her class. Because I was about to say something crook, so I'm going to go. I'm decided to throw it over to Dave.
Yeah, I've been doing I've been doing some re-educating. I've been doing a course.
I'm. Look, if you're happy for me to reveal it.
Yeah, I'm happy for you to. That's fine.
She is doing improv level 1. And it shows.
And it is intensive, so I did have to take weeks off work. Yeah.
So,
But
Jess has missed a few weeks
show,
recently. It is because she's intensively doing improv.
Yeah.
Level 1.
And it was, I got to a point where I was like, it's time to challenge my brain a little more, learn something new, upskill.
Yes.
And I thought, what's going to make the podcast better?
Yep.
Better improv skills from me.
That's right. And what do you think? What's going to give me more career opportunities outside of the podcast?
Correct. Yeah.
Improv level 1.
That's right.
So,
You got to be thinking about your future.
Canonically, Jess is doing this. And it is interesting that is an option for improv to do it intensively, because I don't think there's any other way to do it. Every improver I know is quite intense.
Yeah, that's true.
At least when they're improving.
Yes, yeah. But see, like, often people will do an improv class, say, once or twice a week, an hour-long class. And I thought, no. I need to do 3 solid weeks, spread out though.
You need to recover.
10-hour days, just in a character. I've blacked out a lot of it.
Right.
I was so deep in the improv.
It makes a lot of sense because we talked about it maybe in this episode or the bonus episode we did with Rowan recently. That's where I met her at level 1 improv class. So it's amazing. I would love to know where Dave gets his ideas from.
I get my ideas from the group chat. Jess says, "Hi everyone, hey,
yes,
just finished day 1 of
I'm going to need some time off. I'm doing some improv classes, and you both supported and loved me for that, and it is tax deductible because it's for the pod. So
right. Now, Bopper, you did miss it, but we just chatted about someone who is quite amazing, Camille du Gast, French woman who, like, maybe most famously was involved in this boat race in 1905 from Algiers to Toulon.
Okay.
Which ended with every single boat sinking. But she also did pretty much everything else possible, apart from perhaps be an active parent.
And this was a Matt report?
Yes.
So you were doing a lot of French.
Oh, oui.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was actually off tap.
You've had a couple of...
it was unbelievable.
A couple recent of, like, amazing French women, and I'm all here for it. Well, I can't wait to listen back to this episode that we're a part of right now.
Yeah.
That'll seem confusing to the listeners, but...
So, yeah, it was wild, the things. She was, like, set up an animal rights body, and just, like, everything she did seemed to be unrelated to the others. Like, she was one of the first women to parachute.
What the fuck? Isn't it funny too that, like, you know how sometimes people, particularly people older than us, I feel were kind of like, you finish school, you get a job, you work that job for 50 years. But the best stories we do are about people who have done a million different things.
Yeah.
And when people do, like, there are people in your life that jump from job to job or hobby to hobby, and you kind of go like, oh, bloody hell, they can't stick to anything. But really, they're just fucking living. I
hadn't read her Wikipedia page, but under occupation, this is what's listed. The first one is so funny. One of the richest and most accomplished widows in France.
Yeah, an important title.
That's number 1.
She's okay. So job title, widow.
Yeah, so that's the one at
Number
the top
1,
of the list.
If you're doing jury duty, they're like, what do you do?
I'm a widow. Oh, congratulations.
And then these are all secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Sportswoman,
Yep.
balloonist,
Yep.
parachutist, motorist, motorboatist.
We somehow avoided that.
We did not do a single motorboating joke.
Is it because I wasn't here?
I think so, yeah.
And you were being
Out of
polite in
respect.
front of Raywood?
And we know that that's your
That's my thing.
Yeah.
expertise.
I love to motorboat.
You and Vince Vaughn.
We can't bring it up without you.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
be
I understand.
annoyed.
I understand. I would.
Man, all right. So she was the second woman in France to get her license and the second woman ever to race in a car race.
Fuck yeah.
She was always runner-up.
She was a charity worker, animal welfare worker, made surveys of Morocco for the French government.
What?
She is the vice president of the League of French Droits de Femmes. I don't know I can't remember what that means. But only woman official of the Automobile Club de France. The president of the Society to Protect the Animals. Concert pianist and singer.
Sure. Yep.
That, like,
Just amazing.
out of everything, like...
And what, did she die at 45 or something? Like, or is this one of those...
She lived till 73.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, like...
You fit so much in.
It was... I couldn't believe it. The more... Oh, yeah, she also started a charitable enterprise for orphans and disadvantaged women. She crossed Morocco on horseback solo.
Sure.
When apparently it was
Well, she wasn't
unsafe
solo, was she?
for
She was on a horse.
Yeah,
You're never alone if you're with a horse.
That's equine erasure. And she was also accused of being a nude model, but
Accused of it.
yeah, and that got a lot of negative attention for her.
Yeah, like a painting came out with a woman wearing a mask, but naked apart from that.
Yes.
People were like, that's you.
She didn't have a great relationship with her daughter, and it does seem like, and I mean, I don't think we talked about it at the time, but we mentioned it a few times, and I have been thinking in the break, I'm like, we probably wouldn't mention that for a dad who does all this stuff. And we go, geez, it doesn't sound like he was really parenting that much, though, was he?
That is a great point, yeah.
But yeah, but her relationship was so strained with her daughter that her daughter put out a hit on her mum.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, which failed, like, comically.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, though. When a dad fucks off to do 8 different things, we kind of go like, well, that's a bit shitty.
What an
but...
amazing adventurer.
Yeah. And
Which is, I think, the main tone about it for this.
Yes. You're right. If you do think about it for the dad, it's kind of like, oh, well, he wasn't a very present father. But at least they had their mum. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just interesting commentary, don't you think?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Society, am I right?
No, yeah. And I will say that it was mainly Ray when making that point about her being a bad mum. So I think,
Yeah.
that's luckily a feminist here was...
Yeah.
was
You're here like, you wouldn't say that about a man.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I talked over Ray one a bit.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Just to try something new.
Yeah. Yeah, actually she really slipped right into the role. Or right under, Anyway, so let's get to our favourite section of the show now that you're up to date. I don't think you'll need to listen to that episode anymore, Bob.
Yeah, I'm good.
So now's the time where we thank a few of our great Patreon supporters. Now, if you want to get involved, go to patreon.com/dogoonpod. It's a bunch of different levels. Like, even the lowest level, you can vote every third-ish week, every rotation between the three of us anyway. And then there's, a higher level where you can vote 2 out of 3. There's bonus episodes from a certain level and above, 4 a month. We do a D&D campaign. We do a bonus report every month. This month was about Ray would guess it on as well. It was about a spite fence in America in the 1870s onwards, which is pretty fun.
Wow.
40-footer. Someone built a 40-foot wall to just fuck off their neighbour.
Love that.
And it went on 3 sides.
That's good stuff.
And
Crazy.
they had no air. They had no sun.
Yeah.
Just because
Killed their garden.
Because they wouldn't sell to this rich developer. The guy's like, well, I own everything around you. I'm just going to 40-foot fence around you.
Hectic story, yeah. So the San Francisco spite fence, that episode's called.
Fascinating stuff.
Wow.
And we also found a Wikipedia page dedicated to other spite fences, which is pretty fun. Anyway.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's that and there's games and all sorts of stuff. There's heaps of stuff. In Perth a couple of weeks ago, someone said to me that their favourite bonus episode is Am I a Dead Woman? And they said they even started playing it at home.
Wow.
And they said, well, that's not really true. We just played Celebrity Heads, but I would always start with the question, Am I a dead woman? And my friends thought it was a bit weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Get better friends.
Yeah.
If they don't think Am I a Dead Woman is a perfect first question.
Yeah. Come on.
Is that who you want to be spending your life
If
with?
the answer is yes, you have narrowed down a lot.
A lot.
That's right.
Heaps.
Because, isn't technically there's more people alive now than have ever lived before?
No.
So if you're a dead woman,
That can't be true.
That cannot be true.
is that not true?
How could that be true?
Well, there's always facts like that I assume can't be true. Like, someone was telling me that iron in, added iron in cereal is actually literal flakes of iron. Is that true?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and
How
there's-
can that be true? But it is true.
But there's literally like, yeah, that's true. There's a clip of another podcast having this exact conversation that I've seen multiple times on TikTok.
And is it true?
Yeah, iron is iron. Yeah.
We're eating little bits of iron? It's crazy.
You thought there were 2 types of iron?
Oh, yeah.
I've just Googled how many people have died in history, and the first thing that comes up, it's estimated that approximately 110 billion humans have died, representing about 94% of all humans who have ever lived.
Okay. And how many live now then? So 94%, is there 95% alive now?
Yes. So technically...
Of people who are alive are 95% or above alive. Huh? Got him.
Is it true about a species of animal? Pigeons or something?
Something is more alive now than ever dead.
Have I at least made that up from a misunderstanding of something else? Or is that-
Probably.
Yeah, okay. I didn't just dream it. Man, I've been having vivid dreams lately. What are we doing? We're doing the Patreon section. Have we explained this much? The first thing we like to do is the Sydney Scheinberg level or above. They get to write in, give us a fact, quote, or question. This section of the show actually has a jingle. Get something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the dig. She always remembers the sing.
I did more of a
Why didn't
zing
you-
there.
why didn't you
Loved
keep-
it.
I can't believe you didn't harmonise with me. You harmonise with each other and you never harmonise with me. But I appreciate both of your work. And this section of the show... this section of the show, people on the Sydney Scheinberg level get to give us a fact, a quote, or a question, or a brag, or a suggestion, or really whatever they like. And then I read them out on the show. And this is episode 499, I believe.
It absolutely is.
So I'm reading out first up from Connor B. Connor gets to give themselves a title, and Connor's title is Senior Coordination Officer for the placement of essential quest clues that seem to be coincidental but are actually strategically placed to appear to adventurers at just the right time and not a second before. That's a pretty important role, Connor B, I would like to
Wow,
think.
well done.
Connor's got a recipe.
Ooh, I haven't had a recipe for a little while.
I've been cooking a bit more lately. Did my first spaghetti bolognese last
My
week.
God, you're fucking dull.
Okay.
Sorry. That's awesome.
And then I turned into the next night into spaghetti bolognachos.
That's a bit of fun.
That is
better?
nice.
Is that better?
Portmanteaus are the number one podcast joke, so thanks for doing it.
That's good
It's
stuff.
not really a joke. It's more of just a meal I had.
Yeah. And he's just sharing with us his personal growth. At 34 years old, he's cooking bolognese.
First ever.
I thought you were joking.
Spaghetti bolognachos. It was great. So what it is nachos,
No, we get it.
but with bolognese.
Yeah, we get it.
But there's no spaghetti.
No,
It's more just, it's just bolognachos.
Bolognachos, yes.
Yeah, but if I said that without context, you'd be like, what the hell are you talking
And
about?
is that like a bit like
It's like
chili?
almost like a lasagna.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty common though. The nachos with a bit of
With,
chili
like-
on top, is it?
Yeah, but it's, I don't know.
This
it's
is more of an Italian.
more of
Italian,
more of an
Mexican.
Italian sort of a red winey sauce versus a
I wish they could see Dave. It looks like
He's squishing some balls.
Yeah, it does. It looks like he's cupping balls.
That's right. If your tomato's doing that, put it back.
Yeah. All right. So here's the recipe. 2 ingredients: baking soda, vinegar. Kind of says, I think you can figure out what to do with it. It's honestly just a fun thing to do sometimes. You can also do it with a vase buried in sand or dirt. You and some others can mark some spots in the sand, and the first person's point that the lava reaches wins. It's a bit like marble racing, but with fake lava. Baking soda and vinegar, that's how you make those American science projects
Right. And
that
then
I've seen on The Simpsons.
and the competition, you set them off and try not to.
Yeah, I guess you're all sitting a certain point. I'd sit up the dune. I reckon that'd be my
right up the June.
right up.
Right up.
Mate, I'd put it right up the dune. Hang on. Thank you so much, Connor B. Have you? Yeah, I've never seen one of those done in Australia, but they seem to be on every American TV show. Kids making a volcano.
Classic science
thing.
fair.
Yeah. Thank you, Connor B. Next one comes from David Loring. Was it Loring like boring or Loring like boring?
It's like boring, isn't it?
Loring. David Loring. Okay. Not like boring?
Just think of the word boring.
And David's gone with the title Executive Director of Hype and hyperbole even. I think both of those pronunciations are these days
Do 'em
accepted. David writes, we all know there are the appointed decision makers over which facts are fun, grill, grim and dull.
That's a grill fact.
Yeah, that's a portmanteau.
Can I do that now? I'm a chef.
Yeah.
I'll do grill facts.
You've done one bolognese and you're like, I'm a chef.
I'm a chef.
Well, he did one bolognese and one taco
Bolonachos.
bolognese.
Bolonachos.
Taco bolognese.
That works better, doesn't
Let's
it?
just move on.
Taco bolognese.
I can't look at you right now.
That's night 3. Taco bolognese. And what that is tacos.
Shut up!
Bolonaco?
Bolorito is pretty good.
But David keeps going. But you may need to assign someone to the facts that are shocking, earth-shattering, and upend all you have ever known.
Oh, God. Like a life-changing fact for
Okay.
possibly bad reasons.
Are you ready for this? Nutbush, Tennessee is an unincorporated rural community, meaning it doesn't have formal incorporated status as a town or city, and though it does have general boundaries, this means that it does not, in fact, have city limits.
No.
Whoa.
Mind blown emoji. Bye.
What is she singing about then? Makes no sense.
Well, they call it Nutbush city limits. Does it? I don't think she ever says. Technically, it is the Nutbush city limits. She says. Nutbush city. They call it Nutbush city limits. Or am I adding they call it bit in?
I think so.
Next, we'll be hearing that dance isn't like official.
Yeah, it's not an international thing that we all do at weddings and school discos.
They call it Nutbush. They call it Nutbush. And the final one this week comes from Damien of Long Island. And the title is Rain Sounds Listener 4,000 Hours. With a quote.
That's a lot of hours.
Holy crap.
I saw it. Do you know Shane Gillies, comedian? I saw a clip of him talking about how a friend stayed over and he listened to rain sounds at night.
The friend does or Shane does?
Shane does.
Okay.
And the friend was sleeping on the couch and the next day was like, you listen to applause going to sleep? It's just like, that's psycho, man. That's
really funny.
And he's like, no, it's relaxing rain sounds.
That's so good. Again.
6 more hours.
And apparently he's like, I can't listen to it anymore because all I can hear is the applause.
That's so funny.
So funny. It's really funny. Hopefully I haven't ruined that for you as well, Damien. Damien has a quote writing, I've had 2 dreams featuring the pod. One is a full-blown dystopian nightmare where Matt apparently runs the world through podcasts.
Wow.
I don't think that'd be dystopian. I think
It would be a nightmare, though.
I think you've misspelt utopian there, mate. The other one was barely a dream and more of a quote. I was waking up from a nap and I was pretty groggy, but I heard a voice. It was clearly Jess, and she said, quote, hey, get married by a clutch at first spin, would ya?
That is something I've said. I've thought about getting it tattooed because I believe it so much.
Get married by a clutch.
Yeah.
Would ya? Is that anything? Damien asks, is that anything?
I don't think it is. No, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that makes any sense.
Anyway, if you want to hear about Matt's dystopia, let me know. Bye. I'd love to hear about it. If you could fill us in on your next FQ or Q, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much to Damien, David, and Connor. The next thing we like to do is shout out to a few of our great Patreon supporters. Oh my God, I've been working on my Trump through the week. Do you think it's any better?
Oh no.
Let's see.
Well, firstly, what?
Jess, you normally come up with the game.
Yeah, it's hard because I wasn't here for this one.
Yes. So she just, I mean, you've got a bit of an idea that she does a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So maybe and so broad in scope.
We're going to give them 2 jobs each.
Okay.
This is just
unrelated.
this is just the top 2.
All right. What about if I'll do place and names, you each do a job.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'll do it in my best Trump.
Or not.
Yeah, we had that enough of that last
You
week.
could just do your normal voice.
From Grafton in Australia.
Okay.
Thank you so much to Matt Shields.
Okay, so that's just the one and done for the Trump voice.
Great. How about your different accent for each one? Different impression, sorry.
Okay.
Great.
I'll do all the Trumps.
Great. So, Matt,
Matt Shields from
Matt
Grafton.
Shields from Grafton, New South Wales.
Okay, perfect. Yep.
He's a great guy.
Yep. And
He's a fantastic guy.
his jobs are
Plumber.
and emu wrangler.
Oh, they're very hard to wrangle.
That's good
A
at
beautiful
Grafton.
big bird. A great bird.
Just saw a picture of an emu on Facebook.
Can I come clean with you guys?
Trying to book a plumber.
Do you mind if I come clean?
I'd prefer you didn't.
Well, I just want to let the listeners
Oh, he's
know.
going to anyway, but he asked permission and I said no. So.
Dave looked at me like he was open to it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
So this isn't for Jess. This is just for Dave.
All right,
and
I'm not
listeners.
listening.
I haven't actually worked on this impersonation at all. It's just naturally gotten better over the last week.
That's shocking.
Next,
Great. Next
up from Address Unknown.
From Address Unknown.
What can only assume probably from deep within the Fortress of the Moles. Thank you so much to
Maze, bro.
Is that a new impression?
Yeah, this is Trump's son,
Really barren.
Barron.
God, I never heard him speak. Okay, didn't know he suddenly thought that.
He sounds exactly like this.
Maze Bro is an underwater, like one of those deep diving scuba divers that fix oil rigs, and also
A t-shirt designer.
Oh my gosh.
T-shirt is like, I went to the bottom of this rig, and this is, and they only brought me
my
this
God.
T-shirt. Oh my god, it was a crappy T-shirt. Oh my god.
Thank you so much to Maisie. Next up from Melbourne here in Australia,
It's Joshua Williams.
Who's that?
one of his other sons. How many sons does he have?
Couple.
Got a few.
Great. Yeah.
Don Jr.
Yeah, that was Don Jr.
Okay. Joshua Williams, Jess, first job.
Joshua Williams is a bank robber.
Bank robber / hairdresser.
Yeah.
So always looks good. Changes hair every year.
Yeah.
Different colour
Beautiful
hair.
disguise.
Hair is very important. It's very important to get a nice cut and color.
If he's got one, his last son.
Have you ever dyed your hair, Matt?
Yeah, I bleached it when I was a teen. And I didn't understand it. They put on a cap and did the tip thing.
Oh, that way, yeah.
It was so painful.
Very uncomfortable.
Oh, like
They don't do that now.
And then it just looked like my whole hair was bleached anyway. I don't know. It was to protect your scalp, I guess.
Sounds like it was stinging your scalp.
What, they put a pin through the holes or some sort of metal thing and pull out chunks of hair so that all your hair comes out through this.
That's how they did like the blonde tips back in the day.
Right, because when I was in grade 6, got a few blonde tips, but I think it was just the fringe for some reason.
Yeah, sick.
Well, it was
then
the fashion of the time.
And then it grew out and did not look good.
No.
Yeah, is it silver in the same spot? Because you got the silver shock at the front.
Maybe do you reckon they damaged my hair?
Well, no, I don't think it
23 years
damaged
ago.
it. I thought maybe it
Improved it.
You're like,
was
you've done a permanent sort of.
Similar to, it was just the fringy bit here. But then I also, in year 8, went fully black, and that made me look very pale.
On the hair.
Yes, on the hair.
Yeah. You got to qualify that.
And I looked very, very pale.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would do it. It really wash you out.
Yes,
Yeah.
didn't look good.
You're a summer.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't wear black.
You were, and it was the floppy fringe. It was full emo, Dave.
Oh, full emo, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were welcoming yourself to the Black Parade.
Yeah, funnily enough, I never got into My Chemical Romance, but I always thought they were posing.
Anyone else to welcome in?
But looking back, I'm like, that's some great songs. What were you were missing out?
And also, what were you doing if they were posing?
Oh, well, of course. I'm coming clean. I was a wanker. I'm coming clean.
What do we? Next up from Parkville, again here in Melbourne, Victoria. It's David Devonish. Oh, what a name!
Oh, Devonish, I love that.
David Devonish.
David Devonish is a part-time knitter.
And also works security at Kmart.
Oh, what? And they sell knitting gear, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Why do you think they need security?
Only get the staff discount.
I think that's what the K and Anko stands for, actually. Next up, thank you so much, David. Next up from Address Unknown, can only assume from Dead Within the Fortress of the Moles. Wow. Just let me say wow before I say this name.
Yeah.
Please welcome and thank you, Taz Whitcamp.
Wow. Taz Whitcamp. Okay, is a WWE wrestler.
And greyhound breeder.
Whoa.
My friend Taz had a greyhound.
And I think there was a WWE wrestler called Taz.
Oh.
How do you guys get your ideas? From Buddha in Texas in the United States, it's Katie Phillips McLeod.
Oh, great name.
Katie Phillips McLeod.
It's Katie Phillips No. It's wow. Last week you made it look so easy
Yeah, I do that with a lot of things.
that I thought if I just didn't think about it for a week and came back,
Yeah.
just from seeing you do it last week, I thought that would be enough.
Yeah, but you're not me.
No.
And you never will be.
I wanted to soak it in. I should have just played that clip on repeat of you saying, rather than not even listening to him talk.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, that is.
Katie, what was that, the Joker? Katie Phillips McLeod
It's heading towards Gollum. Anyway, yeah, go on.
is, of course, you said something?
Katie Phillips McLeod very famously is an ice cream artisan.
Oh, and also works in the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yeah.
So if you're getting a sundae, you're getting a sundae.
It's going to be a good one.
Give me my precious. That's my precious.
Give me my precious. That's my precious. He's definitely seen those movies.
Recently. And they've stuck in his brain very
Yeah.
well. Give me my precious.
And my axe. Give me my axe.
That's my new character, Donald Giblets. Donald Giblets.
Wow. All right, we've got three beautiful people to thank you.
From Preston, again here. Big week for
This sounds
Melbourne
exciting.
patrons. Preston in Victoria, Australia. Please thank Catherine Middleton.
Like Kate Middleton.
Oh my God. Who married Prince William?
Yeah.
I'll do a Prince William.
Thank you, Catherine Middleton. You're a beautiful wife, a beautiful mother of my children. It's so good to be married to you.
Do you think he would think of her as precious?
I think you're precious. I think you're wonderful. I think you're fantastic.
That's my precious.
She's my precious. That's my precious.
I feel so bad.
Give me my precious.
Give me my precious.
I feel so bad for this, Catherine Middleton, because I assume that you're old enough to have probably gone the first at least decade of your life, and
Yeah.
no one ever commented on your name, and now it's changed forever.
Yeah.
And now people are pointing you in the street saying, "That's my precious." Catherine Middleton is, of course, a
Olive grower.
/
Oh, that's so good. I love an olive.
video game tester.
Oh,
My
she's living my dream life.
my uncle and auntie live in Preston, and over the weekend they harvested all their olives.
Whoa.
And took them to a community garden where they all got crushed and made into olive oil.
Oh my
And do
God.
they get to keep the
This
oil?
is just the thought process.
Yeah.
I saw Preston.
Show your
I
workings
thought
out.
olives.
Oh, right. I thought Catherine Middleton, and I thought Wario.
But her
We're all
real-
different.
The princess is Kate, so I think Catherine would probably get away with it. Or is Kate Middleton short for Catherine? But
And
you're-
now she's Catherine.
Oh, she's changed to Catherine.
No, it's just like what she's called now that she's like going to be queen.
That's her regnal name.
Yeah.
Is that right, Dave? Regnal?
Yeah, they all call her Catherine.
It's a pre-regnal.
Pre-regnal. I thought maybe that's why Catherine, but maybe, yeah.
But Middleton doesn't get used anymore because that's her maiden name.
Right. Back when she was a maiden.
That's right.
Next up from Auckland in New Zealand, it's Hey Danky. Hey Danka.
Hey Dunker. Hey Dunker is a Christmas tree farmer and also
A Hobbit reenactor.
Whoa. New Zealand.
they do one as a hobby and the other one, they're a hobbit.
Hobby and a hobbit.
Woo!
That was the worst high five we've ever done in our entire life.
I think Hey Danka, as it's written, might be Hayden K as well, looking at the email address. In case I got that wrong. And finally, from Manchester, where I'm going to be in September, come see me at the Frog and Bucket. It's the only show at this point that I know. I really got to ask Giles, who's producing the tour, where I'm going. But I know that one because it's already on sale.
Will you be doing an official announcement at some stage where you know the dates and where you're going?
Yes, hopefully before this episode comes out, to be honest. MattShieldComedy.com, maybe on pod.com if I figure out how to get the keys to that website. From Manchester, thank you for your support, Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas is, of course, a
Train conductor.
and magician.
Ooh.
Close up only.
Yeah. No faraway magic.
Yes, it's because he's not wearing any pants. You got to zoom right in.
Yeah. He will not wear pants.
Thank you so much to Henri or Henry, Hayden, Catherine, Katie, Taz, David, Joshua, Maze, and Matt. And that leaves us only with the final thing to do, which is welcome in a couple of people into the Triptych Club. Dave, what is the Triptych Club?
This is our Hall of Fame, our clubhouse for people that have been supporting the show for 3 consecutive years on the shout-out level or above. And, we've given them a shout-out previously, but now it's time to get down to business and welcome them into this Hall of Fame. Once you're in, you can never leave, but why would you want to? Because we supply food, drinks, entertainment, and, whatever you want, honestly. Mm-hmm. Name something, Jess.
Drugs.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Well, there is a doctor's surgery, and if you can convince them to give you...
But I'm the doctor.
Yeah. Jess will give you whatever you ask for.
Yeah. Dave was about to say if you convince her...
Doesn't take much.
Doesn't take a lot.
Doesn't take much. I want you to have a good time.
Yeah.
She does a lot of winking, and you need this wink.
Yeah. And this is medicinal wink.
Yeah. Are you showing some non-physical symptoms that aren't, that I can't check?
I couldn't possibly check. I just have to take your word for it.
Wink.
Yes.
Yeah. Would come the answer.
I've got a great medical brain, though, so it's not like, I'm not going to endanger you.
No. You read a book.
I read a book.
After last week's episode, you're inspired.
Yeah, I've read a book, and now I'm pretty confident I could save a life.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done, Dave says. I haven't done anything yet, but he's like, I'm so proud of you. Is it because I read a book?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
And Jess, you're behind the bar.
Yep.
Normally do a drink. What drink, cocktail have you made?
Well, this is a French lady.
Oh, it sure is.
French martini.
Oh, my gosh.
I love a French martini.
And is it just a Le Martini or what's it?
No. A French martini is, it's usually like a blackberry Chambord. So it's like a liqueur. There's usually, I think, vodka in it. It's vodka based.
That sounds delicious.
They are delicious. I've enjoyed many a French martini in my time.
Camille du Gast sounds like it's ready to go for it. Do one of your portmanteau jokes, Dave, that you always do with Camille du Gast and a cocktail.
The Camille de Gastly, something like that.
Yeah.
Ghastly.
And it's a
scary
cocktail. It's a scary cocktail. It has like a ghost on it.
Oh, Camille du Gast.
Exactly.
And Dave, you've booked a band, have you?
You're never going to believe it.
What?
I keep expecting you to have a week off. Like, we don't have to always have a band, but you always
just
come
keep
through
booking him, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to the wire. Like, I'm walking in here and I'm getting texts from their booking manager saying they're in. And I go, yes.
Awesome.
And then Matt started speaking. Couldn't believe it. He started speaking French. I thought, well, I've booked a French person.
So good.
And then he said the name Camille. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I've got the French singer known only as Camille.
Oh my gosh.
She's here.
What are some of the songs that we can expect from Camille at the after party?
Le Feston, Que Je T'aime, Turnaround Reprise.
Turn around reprise.
Yeah, I love the reprise.
Suis-moi,
Turn
El Mal, Equation, Seeds.
Lots of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Reprise, turn around. So we got 2 inductees this week. Je t'aime. What does je t'aime mean, Dave?
Je t'aime?
Oh, je t'aime.
Oh, je t'aime?
Or je t'aime, is it? There's a song.
I love you.
Je t'aime.
I love you.
Yeah, but what does it mean, Dave?
Dave.
I've got no idea. I thought if I threw a compliment at you, you'd shut up.
That has never once worked.
Dave, je t'aime. Am I close?
No. You're getting further away. You're saying dem.
Je t'aime? Je t'aime?
Just read the names.
Yes, with a T, yeah.
So I got 2 inductees this week. I'll read them out. I'm on the door. I got the clipboard. I'm going to lift up that velvet rope. 2 names. You jog on in if you hear your names. There's 800 odd people already in there. They're going to be cheering along. Dave's hyping them up on the stage. He's got the mic in hand. Jess has got her hand on Dave's rear end just for support.
Consensually.
Consensual support.
What's a bit of bum touching between friends? I've always said that.
I think if
she really talked me into it.
Yeah.
She kept saying it.
And she's your boss. So I don't know if it's appropriate.
What do you mean? We're friends. And that's it. Nothing weird. Just a couple of friends, one of whom has their hand on the other's tush. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean,
he likes it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm a student of body language, and Dave doesn't look like he likes
He
it.
can say no thank you at any time.
Yeah, the quicker we get through this, the faster she gets a hand off. So please.
First up, please welcome into the club, make some noise from Carlisle in Great Britain. It's Kieran McFadzean.
Oh, it's not the pronunciation I thought you were going to go with.
Well,
there.
you go with your pronunciation. How would
Kieran
you like-
McFadzine, more like Kieran McFad's queen.
Woo! You're a queen. You're
Yes,
royalty,
queen.
baby.
Yes, queen. I'm sure Carlisle is Carlisle in Scotland.
Feels like it.
I'm sure there's some chance that they would love to be associated with the royal family.
Yeah.
And
Thankfully, it's in Cumbria in England.
Okay.
Woo! They love it.
they love it down there. They love it.
They
in
all love
Cumbria. They all love it. And from Boxborough in which I don't know why we can never remember these ones. Is it
Maryland?
Massachusetts?
Ah.
In the United States, anyway. In Boxborough, Ma. Please welcome, make some noise for Sarah Tardif.
Sarah, I really care for you.
Oh!
That's really good.
That's good stuff.
That's really good. No notes. Well done, Sarah. Thank you. Make yourself at home. Grab yourself one of those drinks. They sound fantastic. Same to you, Kieran.
Help yourself.
Please, make yourself at home. You live here now, so live it up. Jess, anything we need to tell people before we go?
They can suggest a topic and we encourage them to do so. There's a link
Yes.
in the show notes, which will take you to dogoonpod.com. That's our website, where you can find stuff about Matt's shows coming up as he figures out how to put it on that website.
Yeah. Coming, I think I'm doing like 6 states, something like that in the UK.
Awesome. And you can also find us on social media, Do Go On Pod, on most socials, Do Go On Podcast on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Please follow us. We'd love you to follow us and, even like our posts.
That'd be great.
It's
You could comment on them.
It's such an annoying thing in some way. I think you get something out of it because you're following along and it's a bit of fun, but also it does help us with opportunities, booking live shows and stuff. We live in that weird world now where venues will look at your following count to see whether or not they'll have you on or whatever. And same with international producers and whatnot.
And can we also just take a moment to say, congratulations, Matt Stewart, on 10,000
Oh my
followers. He
God.
did it.
Thank you so much.
He did it. Can I just say, for now?
Yeah, well, honestly, I hit that mark and then I saw this thing I hadn't seen before and it said deactivated accounts that follow you and there was like 150 accounts, so I deleted all them and went under again. I don't know if I'm actually
Why
back.
did you do that?
Well, they were deactivated accounts.
Who cares?
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
It's all just a number, isn't it?
it's all just a number, baby.
Yeah, I don't know. It said you should delete these if you want. I said, okay.
You should delete these if you want. And you said, yeah, I don't want 150 followers.
Well, they're dead account. They're not real.
Who gives a shit? It looks good to have them.
I mean, none of it's
it's
real.
sort of like accounts who just have entirely bot followers, but they've still got 20,000 bot followers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just funny timing to do that right when you've been campaigning to
so
get
you've gone
to
back
10.
under, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fuck. You just sabotage yourself.
Oh, no, I'm back.
Just believe in yourself.
I'm back, baby.
Okay. What a roller coaster that was.
How about that?
Dave Boot at home.
Well done. Congratulations, Matt.
Thanks so much.
That was a big moment for you. We'll be back next week with episode 500. Can you believe it? And we've got some special stuff planned for you.
So much fun. Can't wait for everyone to hear that. Maybe we don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun. We'll be back then. Thank you so much for listening to the last 499 weeks. I hope you'll join us for 500. But until then, thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dressed season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and more, discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy too, with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today, in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
This podcast is brought to you by Aura. By the time you hear about a data breach, your information has already been exposed for months. On average, companies take 277 days to report a breach. That's 9 months where hackers have access to your personal data. That's why we're thrilled to partner with Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that monitors the dark web for your phone number, email, and social security number, sending real-time alerts if your info is found. It also includes a VPN, password manager, and data broker removal to help keep you safe. For a limited time, Aura is offering a 14-day free trial plus a dark web scan to check if your personal information has been leaked, all for free at aura.com/safety. That's aura.com/safety to sign up and protect your loved ones. That's AURA.com/safety. Terms apply. Check the site for details.
Don't forget to sign up to our tour mailing list so we know where in the world you are and we can come and tell you when we're coming there.
Wherever we go, we always hear 6 months later, oh, you should come to Manchester. We were just in Manchester.
We were just there, but this way you'll never miss out. And don't forget to sign up, go to our Instagram, click our link tree. Very, very easy.
It means we know to come to you, and you'll also know that we're coming to you.
Yeah, we'll come to you, you come to us. Very good.
And we give you a spam-free guarantee.